Good morning, Epic Clan. Welcome to EPIC44 with Intel, sponsored by Asus, Republic of Gamers, and Overclockers. Good morning, Maddie.
Good morning. We are back.
We are.
Yeah, not too long ago we were sitting here getting the last game of the best of ones in,
Yes.
and we are back.
We're back
Best
this
of threes.
morning for the best of three playoffs that are going to be happening. So this morning we're going to be doing the upper qualifiers for WILLYG Palace versus the expansion pack.
Yeah.
And just to remind everyone at home on stream that this VALORANT tournament has been sponsored by the lovely sponsors of Asus Republic of Gamers. They've contributed to the prize pool at this event, as well as the prizes towards the MVP. And alongside that, there's a game that's floating around.
There
here at Epic
is,
Land, isn't there?
Yeah.
It's called Vector Strike. It's where Rocket League meets Valorant. It's a physics-driven game where you have a diverse set of unique characters as part of the roster, and you want to be making sure that you use your skills to unleash spectacular moves across the arena to score more goals than your opponents. So hopefully, on the lower third of the screen is going to be a code that is going to be appearing up on the screen for you. So one of you lucky viewers, take this code, enter it into your Steam library, and get yourself a world-exclusive early access here from Epic Land.
I'm going to have to grab one myself at some point.
Yeah, I mean, we got a bunch of boosters, yeah, so, I mean, we just grab one at any point.
Yeah.
I mean, we got this weekend of land to, test out. I think one of the
yeah.
sponsors have got it up on them, one of their rigs as well, so
Right.
we can jump on that.
Yeah.
It looks like a very interesting game.
It does. Yeah, it kind of, brings a bit more to that football,
Yeah,
gaming vibe that.
I think that space needs a bit of
Yeah.
flair.
Yeah, exactly.
But you know what also needs some flair? This morning's game.
Certainly does. We have some brilliant players on these teams.
Nah, we do.
I mean, WILLYG Palace.
They speak for themselves, don't they?
They're well known in Epic Land.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
That's-
Those are one of probably the
thing is-
many different words or adjectives used to describe them.
I was
Is that-
mentioning
wait,
this
is
to you.
adjectives the right word?
I don't know. It's
haven't-
too early.
I haven't
Uh,
done- done
I mentioned to you this before the stream, and WILLYG are one of those teams where they're just mates. They're here. They can sit and have fun, and the coordination and the gameplay is still such high tier.
Yeah.
It's so impressive.
It is.
And I'm just sitting there going, okay, cool.
It makes
like-
a lot of people jealous.
Yeah, like they're just, they're having fun. They're just hanging out. They go, yeah, whatever, and they're just still so
I
good.
know. They could, they're just there for the vibes, just mess around, and then they'll just frag
just-
out when they need to. It's just like,
exactly.
oh, right, okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
I thought we were here for a good time, but you're here for a good time and to win.
yeah. So we have the expansion pack as well. We've seen them quite a bit yesterday as well. They've been playing well. They're the only team. Well, they're a best of three yesterday or last night. Sorry, were the only games to go to 3 maps.
Yes.
Previously, so they've had their fair share of games so far.
That is true. That is true. I mean, was it on the side? Sorry.
No, you carry on.
Side of expansion pack. They got a couple of enhanced aim players.
Yes.
Haven't they?
Yeah. So it's a bit of a mixed team. I think 2 or 3 of them may have been. They've also got ex-cognizant players who played at EPIC42 and 41. So they've all got LAN experience.
Yeah.
They're all good friends, and they've been playing really, really well.
That's good. That is very, very good. And seeing how well they're going to be playing, look at our vetoes
don't.
for today. So, Haven once more. I mean, you love this map, don't you, Maddie?
Really
Can't
do.
get enough of
Yeah,
it.
I love Haven.
So it is expansion packs pick, and we have got WILLYG on the defense starting
Okay.
off. And then we're going to Bind, which is I have not casted Bind yet.
Neither have I. I love Bind. It's such a good map. I've been talking about Haven being that default pick since Ascent's left the map pool.
Yes.
Bind is very similar, but it still has that diversity with the teleporters that creates such a unique gameplay that can occur. Especially the choke points on the entries. In Heaven and in A main, there's such small choke points that it creates. It's really hard to entry onto these sites, but it's worth it when you do.
That is exactly true. Yeah. And then for our deciding map, we're going to be going to Abyss. Quite nice.
We mentioned Abyss yesterday.
We did
We
mention Abyss.
love casting Abyss.
I
This
do.
is great.
I feel
And
like the maps that we're getting today are kind of like, the Marmite maps.
Yeah,
Maybe
100%.
Bar Haven, but Bind and Abyss are very much like you either like or you don't.
100%. I think Abyss is such a good decided map as well.
Mhm.
We've seen it quite a few times actually. It's like, okay, yeah, we'd rather not use it for our, our first 2 guaranteed games, but why not?
Yeah. I think having Abyss as like a decided map is a bit of more of a safer option
Yeah.
for most teams going into now the playoffs, where it's
Yeah.
like there's more opportunities to bring yourself back with the best ones and kind of like You need to go for it.
Yeah. I mean, not to mention, obviously, WILLYG Palace ended up, it was between Fracture and Abyss. So I think at that point, they're like,
Yeah.
let's go for Abyss just to be safe, because Fracture is, I mean, it's been out for a while in terms of, being a map, but it has only been recently added back in. So
yeah. So teams are probably out of practice.
Yeah.
And for some teams, like, I think Fracture's one of those maps. It's kind of like Icebox, when it's first released, right? No one liked it.
Yeah.
And then as time progresses, people get used to it. I personally not really.
No, I mean, I do, but not in terms of, this high level, Valorant gameplay.
Now, as we're going into agent selects,
Okay.
on the side of WILLYG, we've got Luca on Cypher, and ISO pick coming out from Porky, Luki on
interesting,
Yoru,
actually.
Will hovering that Sova, and Dex has locked in at that moment. So we're going to be seeing an Omen on both sides. Very surprised that we're not seeing.
I was just about to say,
yeah. At the breach, but again, no Teo.
True. It was very interesting actually, but that means that Killjoy is going to be working out really, really well. And I've always mentioned this for Haven, is I love seeing, so one team has Cypher, one team has Killjoy. I love seeing how they compare on that defense and even attack as well, that lurk. The gameplay is very different, but they both have their advantages.
Yes.
It's really interesting, and we had Haven again yesterday. The breach and Sova work really well together.
Yeah.
That information and the stuns and the flashes are crucial.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we have ISO and Yoru.
Yeah, very interesting. I mean, Yoru's been getting picked up a lot more now in the pro scene meta, so which is quite nice to see. And well, with Haven, right, and they picked up Yoru. Are we going to see a Durka clone?
I mean,
its appearance at any point this land.
We had quite a few incidents yesterday where Yorus were getting shot through their clone because they kept walking behind it. And you go, come on. You know how to play Yoru. Let's reset this a little bit. So hopefully we won't be seeing too many of those. But this is going to be really interesting. I'm liking the Sova picks from both sides. It makes sense. Again, with the Omen, there's really no point switching up the smokes when it works. If it's not broke, don't fix it.
Exactly, yeah. I feel like with these breach picks, right, I think it makes a little bit more sense over the Teo. Yeah, yes, Teo is like an incredibly strong agent, but I feel like with a map like Haven, where sites are, they're quite big, right? They're quite open in terms of areas to flush players out from. Teo can have a bit of a disadvantage. Because yes, you can use your guided salvo to zone the players out, but you zone them out, but they still have the opportunity to fight back. Whereas breach, you get stunned, very much that.
Yeah, he's just like, that rock on the team that you can rely on no matter what. And I think it's just safety, right? You want that safety net, and I think Breach is that player, that agent, sorry.
Now, as we're going into the first round of the upper bracket playoffs,
Standing ahead.
WILLYG versus the expansion pack. We're going to be starting things off, and Luki is going to be walking up nice and aggressive, but is going to get taken out by Reb. That was a very interesting start for Luki.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what the idea was behind that.
But Porky Chopper is going to be following on a trade of their own. He's going to be prepping that flashpoint. And 3 members on the side of expansion pack peek out.
Spike
2
down
of them for
mid.
Porky. Soldier is going to be grabbing that trade, and it's a 2 versus 2 situation. Spike in hand for the side of expansion pack, and Soldier makes their way over the A point to get that spike planted. You can see that the Omen is all the way over the back, just in case.
Spike planted.
Trying to play a little bit slower here. Soldier's health is not looking too great.
Last player standing.
That was a very
Yeah.
nice bolt, forcing dogs out. As all left Soldier, he's just spotted Will's.
One enemy remaining.
Oh, Luca gets taken out. Lovely headshot. Soldier gonna be able to follow up. And the dancing shoes on, but Will's gonna be the one to come out on top. That's a very good start for WILLYG Palace. 4 members fallen, but they're able to get themselves a good start
Yeah, I mean,
to the game.
they're not going to be using those pistols next round, I'll be honest with you. They can buy now. They're all right.
Yeah.
Right here.
Very weird round, though. That first push, it was interesting. Luki, I think, cleared it briefly and was like, okay, if they're going to be there, I would have seen them.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, Reb kind of just swung that corner at the perfect timing. But what's interesting is you see Porky Chop immediately not backing off and still pushing that mid and getting, that trade. And it immediately brings them back into the game.
Oh, this is a nice spot. This goes here.
They see one team as
Yes, this will do.
Yeah.
You know what? We'll push forward, and I think that did
Cover going
work
out.
out in their favour. So, we've got Outlaws, Marshals on the side of WILLYG Palace. So, very heavy hitting guns. So, Stokesies over the crosshair of any of the members from WILLYG are eliminated. Yeah, but might be walking into a bit of a firing squad here in the garage as Deck has got the judge. You know how powerful the judge can be, and I think oh my goodness, Soldier out of nowhere taking him out, but Luka takes out 3 with the Spectre. Lovely stuff just before they're going to get stunned, and Stokesy is going to be making their way through, but thanks to that trap wire as well as that spy cam tagging them, Luka is going to be sprinting over.
One enemy remaining.
Oh my goodness, I think Luka's going to be very happy we didn't really catch all of the action on that one. But they're going to be falling to Stokesy, so down they fall. Not much HP on the side of Stokesy's, but they've been able to do a lot of damage to WILLYG Palace nonetheless.
Oh, that Outlaw's so powerful, but you know.
30 seconds left.
Gotta hit those shots.
Yeah. 26 HP. Without the spike as well.
Very good move for WILLYG Palace just rotate straight to the garage. They saw Stokesy run away and do exactly what his was. But I don't know if they are aware of the fact that he's going to be flanking
10 seconds
them.
left.
Oh, they've just seen the head of Will spot them.
I mean, you can't really complain at that point. You've gotten 3 kills. You've rained the money. Take it.
Yeah, I mean the expansion pack definitely done a good amount of damage to the economy of WILLYG Palace. Look at them. They're now having to run, you know, Sheriff's Ghost.
That goes there.
Whereas
Yeah.
still Arsenal.
I need this.
Yeah, 100%. We're seeing Outlaw still. However, there's full
is a
shield.
nice
Apart from Gogs, who's
This goes
deciding, you know,
here.
to go for that half shield, the Outlaw's not going to do great deals of damage. I mean,
Oh my goodness, what an explosive start for both sides. Stokesy takes out 2, but not without the demise of a couple of their players on the side of expansion. And look at Will just pushing all the way up. He's just saw the head of Gogs and just giving their position away. Trigger discipline is not there this morning. I think some members just still need a bit of waking up this morning. They might be a bit too eager. They didn't really compensate for the fact that their reaction time might be slightly slower.
although it has made them panic a little bit. You know, they're having to sit and watch A main now, draining that time a little bit more.
Exactly, he's kept them on the toes. It's like, well, okay, so one person's flanking.
Yeah.
Maybe, like, is there anyone else flanking around the map that we need to be aware of? And you know, thanks to that, it's kind of like funneled them now into B. You know, Porky Chop with the Bulldog, you know, holding it. Just wrapping away at the wrong time. Now with that, it's giving them an opportunity to go straight on site. Oh my goodness, Luka Stinger through the smoke just before he gets done, and Porky Chop with a rotate. Swinging around, Luka cleans up house. You know, I was questioning that play, but it actually worked out for the better.
Yeah, I mean, it's that coordination I was talking about earlier. You can they worked so well together. You see, you know, back and forth, taking turns to get a kill. And you're like, yeah, I'll die, it's fine, as long as you get the trade. They don't care.
No, that was a really, really good call on the rotate for Porky Chop. I was a bit questioning the decision, you know, as they just like left side open, but you know, that makes sense as they were wrapping around to support Luka, and it worked out amazing for them.
Yeah, and I mentioned that Outlaw not having much damage impact, and then Luke immediately going and getting a kill. So, and that's going to be great now. You know, we're seeing half shields from expansion pack. There we go.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that Outlaw is a devastating weapon in the right hands. And the right hands are Luki's. Is Luki going to find themselves a second one after they picked up one? Going to TP back. But thanks to that dark cover, it's going to allow expansion pack to safely make their way onto site. Ooh, and Luki, Reb, the rest of the members. Down goes Will, Porky and Luki picking up two for themselves. And Stokesy gets a lovely drive-by onto Luka. Oh, and as he falls down to Gog, he's just going to get riddled with bullets. And down goes Gogs by the hands of Deck. And it's just looking all green right now for the defender side.
I mean, it's going to be expansion packs by round again. Pressure's now starting to build up a little bit. If they don't win this next round, the money is going to be a real problem for the next half. The rest of the half even, sorry. Stokesy does have that Rolling Thunder.
They do. There is an opportunity for a play, and I think that's probably what they're going to need to look for, but...
Luki's upgraded that at will.
Yep. That they have. And look at where they're positioning. They've been hanging around like A quite a lot, but now they switched themselves up to C, and I don't know if Expansion Pack are going to be ready for this. They might be staring down a more fearsome barrel, is what it looks like. Ooh, they've seen the arm while Stokes coming out. Ooh! Lukey not going to find one. Going to get forced out, but that cyber cage getting ready to get popped just in case. Lukey needs a little bit of cover, but no members on the side of Expansion are going to tempt fate right now. Lukey finding that opening kill onto Stokesy. Good start for WILLYG Palace. I think Stokesy was just trying to make the way across.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, just got caught. Unfortunate.
But I mean, it completely changes up this attack now.
Yeah.
They had their idea in their head, and immediately like, okay, right, we can't do this anymore. So they're having to, make a new plan. It takes time.
Yeah, I mean,
50 seconds.
I mean, with Stokesy now gone, there's no
True.
rolling thunder for them, so they're gonna have to, push in onto a site. With just a utility, they don't have that, that zoning capabilities of rolling thunder. But I don't think it really matters too much because look how open a site is. WILLYG Palace, I think they're just very, very happy with just giving up the space, and I think Lukey's also just happy to give up. A bullet to take out Soldier. Dex takes him out. And oh my goodness, we're going to go into the domain expansion. It's a 1 versus 1 between Henny and Porky Chop. And who's going to come out on top? Oh, Henny takes the kill. But the members of WILLYG Palace are surrounding them. The demise was inevitable, but they were able to take out one in the process.
You failed.
It's funny because WILLYG Palace, they give Expansion Pack some sort of advantage, right? They give them sight. Yeah, you can take it. No worries. They don't care.
No.
They're absolutely fine doing what they're doing. And you mentioned that I think that Rolling Thunder would have been crucial for that round because, yeah, they got 2 ults now. 2 great ults, may I add. But they're on a save round. And these aren't really ones that you can, be using in order to get this round. I think, they need to be used with the Vandals that they have. And it's just not going to be great.
No, it's not. I mean, if any ultimates get used on this, on the attack on the side of Expansion Pack, they really got to get value out of it.
Yeah.
Like they got to be winning the round if they're going to opt to send in their ultimate.
The only way I can think is using the Rolling Thunder to try and get onto site, get the plant down, and then use the Hunter's Fury for post-plant.
Yeah. But even then, like...
Such a weight. I mean, it's such a risk.
Yeah.
And is the reward high enough?
Yeah, you got to weigh the risk and reward, and the way it's just looking, I don't think it weighs up. Unless by some miracle they're able to, take the round like in flawless fashion.
I mean, we have seen some great classic kills. I'll be honest with you, over the last day or so. So who knows? Oh, no, okay, we've got Vandals.
Well, thankfully for the economy, they're just able to supply themselves. So you know what? There is a chance now.
There is a chance.
So it's looking like that. There's a bit more incentive now to use the ultimates because you've got a full arsenal.
Yeah.
If you lose this round, your economy's in the gutter, so that's a high risk. But it doesn't even matter because Gogs is going to get taken out, but Stokesy is going to quickly trade over onto Lukey just before they get out in the nick of time. But look at Dex and Will. They set up a nice little crossfire, and that paranoia is going to be working off dividends with the timing. Oh my goodness, but Henny is just going to throw some bullets through the smoke, and it's going to connect right into Dex's head. And this is a really good start for Expansion Pack. Probably the best start that we've seen from them so far in these first 6 rounds. Are they going to continue on with this momentum and finally get around on the board for themselves, or are WILLYG Palace going to still be that formidable fortress, not allowing them to move further forward? But the hopes are up.
Yeah, I think they're still debating A, maybe try and make some noise towards C and get a little bit of a fake, but WILLYG read this very, very well.
Shot that.
I think with this noise that they're making right now, I think they're trying to bait out WILLYG Palace and play some mind games with them to force them to rotate, but only Luca is the one rotating around, and you can see that the members of WILLYG, they're not buying it, they're not biting. Look at Porky, he's just so happy to stay there, and
What's come through that C is clear, and it's probably...
Oh my goodness!
Oh, okay.
You know what? I was questioning the Rolling Thunder. It was just all a diversion tactic.
10 seconds
just
left.
there to throw him off, and with 7 seconds left, they're going to be able to get this plant down successfully. Now it's a 2 versus 4 situation for Expansion Pack.
Spike planted.
Good. I would say good use of the ultimate. paid off in the end. If
Yeah,
Stokesy,
exactly.
if Stokesy died, that would have very much been a waste. But they were able to find themselves kill onto Luca, and now Expansion Pack have got themselves set up in a very nice position for the post. Attacks that turret. Allow the members of Expansion Pack to know exactly where
One
they are.
enemy remaining.
Down goes Will. It's all up to Porky. Can they be the final bastion? No, they cannot. Pillar will fall, and Expansion Pack come out
No charges
quite
left.
nicely, actually.
Yeah, and
Losing
they're on
only
the
one
board
member.
now. And that round, I'm saying that they needed that round for the
Yes.
economy. But what's interesting, that both teams played that so well. You've got, WILLYG Palace holding their ground on A. Yeah, look, the call's coming through from Luca, being like, yeah, okay, they're on C, but I hear, a few shots being thrown around, a dart, it's not that much going on. Stick to A. And immediately then, from Expansion Pack, look, C's clear, so these guys are clearly still locking down A. Just rotate.
Yeah.
Just go through it. And then they had that sight, and then WILLYG are down to 2
Revealing area.
players.
Luki once more on the operator, pushing out quite
aggressive.
aggressively. Yeah, I mean, you can see where they got the teleporter all the way back into the defender spawn, so as long as they're able to get out, they're just very quick. He's going to get spotted in sewers by the Owl Drone right now. So they're going to be prepping their dark cover just to try and set up that one way, if you will.
Very, very slow.
It is very, very slow going. Web is going to be looking to set up that
Could be a
lockdown.
bait.
Could be a bait, and they might use that opportunity to make their way over onto B side because of how much area coverage there is. But I don't think they're going to be opting in for it.
You should run.
Say that, and now they're going to be using as an opportunity to clear out A site. Bit of a diversion tactic that they're going for rather than utilizing some skill. They're going to use it to.
Luca is locked down C.
Oh my goodness! Luca has read them like a book, and it's
Down. C.
all WILLYG Palace as well. They was able to take out one, take out two, and now they've got themselves a fighting chance to actually take another round. And Porky with the swing with their teammate takes out Gogs.
One enemy remaining.
The Killjoy. All down to Reb coming through garage, and they know exactly where they are. And thanks to that ISO shield.
That ISO, I mean, Gog's got a headshot,
Yeah.
and it means nothing.
Nope.
it's so unfortunate. It's such a good score. I'm glad they
If you're not
they
a good
nerfed it
shot
after
today,
that
don't worry.
incredible
There are other
buff
ways to be
on it a
useful.
while ago, but it's still so powerful.
It's still very, very powerful.
Mentioned Luca. Yeah, okay. Lockdown goes on A. I don't care. Holding my ground on C, and he knows.
That goes there.
Yeah, no, they did very, very well. Yeah, I like the idea of what Expansion Pack was doing, but unfortunately just didn't pay off. I think the level that WILLYG Palace play at, they just read them like a book.
Yep.
You know, they're not going to buy into into rotating over to A, and it just went all their way. See if anything can go in the way of Lukey. He's gonna get stunned, and the Blaze Storm is gonna get popped on the side of Expansion Pack right now. You know, those knives are very, very deadly in the right hands. Let's see if they're able to get anything out of it. Lukey's still holding their ground.
I'm quite decide where they want to go.
Placing
They're just
swarm
trying to
grenade.
feel out
Swarm
where
grenade
the
out.
members of WILLYG Palace are. And, you know, both teams are stacked up quite more towards that C side. I mean, Luca once again on their lonesome, holding down the fort over on A side, but that's all they need. And Will is going to spot
Just.
Reb's shoulder, so they know exactly where at least one member of the Expansion Pack are. And based off that knowledge, they're going to call themselves for the rotate, anticipating that they're going to be rotating today. I think Reb has conditioned them where they get spotted by the lonesome and they go to the other side. And this time they're kind of like in a bit of the reverse. So now as Expansion Pack, barrel the way over and onto site, it's going to give them a very nice, easy opportunity
30 seconds
to get
left.
that spike planted. Ooh, and Stokesy gonna take out Dex. Quick on the trigger. Ooh, Will gonna get very close. Stokesy takes out 2 P-Cell Soldier, gets themselves a 2-piece as well, and it's all down to Luca. A 1 versus 4 situation.
Give it back up.
I think at this point you might want to just think about saving. I mean, I know you got a lot of money in the bank, but you might want to start thinking about
Yeah,
where and
grab
when you
me
want
up.
to cut your losses. Yep, perfect. That's probably the best decision that Luca can make right now. You know,
Yeah.
save that operator, give it back to Luki, and just play it safe until the timer ticks down.
Yeah, I mean, Expansion Pack, I respect it so much, they're pushing into spawn. And then you go, actually, okay, there's one left. Yeah, it's 1v4, we probably win this, but just to be safe. There's no need to keep, you know, over expanding into that spawn. Although
I look to go for the exit frags, but not quite going to be able to grab one. So Luca keeps their life intact.
Yep.
You know, that's good for the side of
They
WILLYG
can lose a round.
They can afford to lose a round, and they were able to keep the off in the process. So you know what? That's probably the best outcome that Luca probably could have asked for. If they were able to get an exit kill, even better.
Yeah.
But you know what? Don't want to be too greedy.
It's unfortunate because we've seen WILLYG Palace being so good at retaking these sites, especially A, and I think Expansion Pack might be starting to learn what's working on. Big damage.
Big damage coming out the side of decks. That Odin, that wall bangable lineup from B over into Windows is very, very deadly and can catch a lot of people off guard, and it has done for a couple of members of the expansion. As the fault line is coming out, you can see that Porky is going to be trying to Ooh, Gogs finds the opening kill onto Will. Patiently played. Oh, but Lukey is going to trade out, spots a couple of extra members, but Soldier is going to be quicker on the trigger right there. And Porky, seeing the push come through, gets that final bullet onto Soldier. They were already quite low, and they've put their Sova player, Henny, even lower as the vulnerability comes out.
One enemy remaining. Last player
got other
standing.
things to say. But Stokesy might have a response of their own. They see the shoulder. Got the fault line prepped. Oh, they know. Ooh, Dex. You know, oh my goodness. Read Stokesy like a book, pre-firing those angles, and was able to just take them out nice and cleanly.
You shouldn't be peeking with Odin. That's not right. But what was really interesting is that even though there was no early deaths, Soldier getting tagged so low, so early on, creates so much pressure because you know, that's your entry, right? And if you're on 30 HP, it's going to be very hard to enter that site and get that first kill. So then, you know, Gog's managing to sit back, get some advantage going. It worked so well, and they got sight, you know, they did well. And unfortunately, WILLYG Palace just, again, reading like a book.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. Yeah, no, the start of that round with a bit of damage really helped that round play out in favour of WILLYG. But see how this next round goes. Pulling out themselves much further out of B. And, you know, the top of the beanie is all they need to see, and down goes Reb. That pesky beanie. Ooh, but Gogs is going to find Will caught completely unawares. Members of expansion are going to start rushing Luki. Yeah, with the angle of the operator, Soldier is going to get caught completely with their pants down, and down they go. As that neural theft is going to be coming out, members of the side of expansion pack get spotted. The main expansion is coming out,
Player standing.
and it's all Henny. It doesn't even matter. They're going to die in the realm of death.
Contract complete.
And WILLYG are putting themselves 8-2, and as we're going into the penultimate round, WILLYG are looking ever so clean.
Yeah, I mean, no matter what now, even if it was 8-4, it was so set for the second half. And they have such an attacking team. Those two duelists, yes, okay, they haven't got the breach, sure. But these guys clearly know what they're doing.
Oh yeah.
You know, I'm sure they can play without this breach perfectly fine on attack. And I think the Yoro is going to be very focused on these flashes so that Porky can go in and get those not eco frags, but you know, entry frags.
I will be their nightmare.
I'm just loving this, you know, Op and Odin. Yep, there we go.
Oh my goodness.
It's just those. It's those. Where's Bloods? That's the word.
Oh my goodness, what is that?
What?
How do you even cast that?
No, I know. I went, oh yeah, the Odin and the sniper. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Spam.
Flawless round for WILLYG Palace. Yeah.
What about those first bloods? And like these are the two guns that you, if you're gonna do it, it's the way to do it. And I mean, yeah, first bloods, or like, you know, all 5 kills. Either way, same thing, I guess. I think it was over, wasn't it?
It was over soon, as fast as it started. It was just over.
I mean, we've got 3 ults from expansion pack, but at this point, we're seeing quite a few Guardians. And I'm not too sure how well they want to these. I don't know. I don't know.
What a play from Lukey. I mean, he was able to lurk behind the box enough so they weren't spotted by the owl drone. And, you know, that definitely lured expansion pack into a false sense of security, thinking, oh, you know, A main is clear, Lukey's not pushing up, he's going to be over on a different site. It just didn't clear enough.
I think the mental as well at this point, expansion pack are really just, you know, they're not throwing away these, you know, these early kills and like early rounds, but at this point, you know, Lukey's going to be somewhere, anywhere.
I'll handle this.
As that rolling thunder comes through, the dimensional drift comes out in the nick of time for the side of Lukey, so they are going to keep hold on to their life. They're going to be using that opportunity to just back all the way to the back of spawn over towards the end of spawn. And a few shock darts going to be coming out, and Stokes is going to be pushing quite aggressive right there after the initial entry. Luca with the operator this time over on the other side. Fury is going to be coming out on the side of the expansion pack as Reb and Stokes start off the round with a lovely set of kills on this post DP, and Henny is going to find a shock dart elimination for themselves. Gets a very nice angle, clear on the angle, knows where
Time is ticking.
Soldier is, and as that time goes down, so is the pressure mounting, and Soldier is going to be able to finish that round in spectacular fashion. They played that quite nicely.
Switching sides.
Switch up so quickly though. Like you really think, you know, like I was mentioning beforehand, that mental's that, and like they're just getting picked off so easily, and I don't think they should be peeking that early, considering Lukey, you know, is just chilling. No matter where you are, he will be there waiting with the up. But at the same time, expansion pack may be able to bring it back, and then they can switch it up so quickly. And we saw it. I mean, the Hunter's Fury came out. Obviously, it was last round anyway, so you might as well go for it. You know,
Yeah,
nothing
exactly.
to lose. And it worked well. 9-3. 9-3 curse.
9-3 curse. You never
Maybe,
know. We might see it here at LAN. But I mean, with how WILLYG Palace are playing, I don't think a 9-3 curse is going to phase them too much.
At the same time, the scoreboard's looking pretty even.
Yeah.
In terms of kills.
Scanning ahead.
Standard recon bolt coming out of the side of expansion. He's going to get destroyed, and Lukey is just going to make quick work out of Henny right there.
Deploying drone.
My goodness. They're going to get taken out so fast, they weren't even going to have an opportunity to respond. Gogs has been spotted by the owl drone. They are going to be pushing their way up through sewers, but look at that. Pushing up, and oh my goodness, the classic right click. You know how strong it can be, and it is proving its power. Reb in a 1 versus 2 kind of dicey situation, but God, don't you be missing these shots! Oh my days. Soldier gonna get one, but Porky is gonna take them out through the smoke, and my oh my, I think a few members of the expansion pack are gonna be kicking themselves in the shins for that one, because that's not what you want to be seeing.
I don't think Gogs is going to be too happy with that one. But it's just effortless. That's what it feels like. It feels like, let's just run some quick plays, really.
It's just another day in the office for the side of WILLYG, isn't it?
And it's horrible to say, but like at the same time, we're watching it. Like you can't say anything else.
No.
Because it's the truth. And I'm not too sure if Will's wanting to buy. I think he's happy with that ghost of his doing alright. One thing was Henny went for that orb very, very quickly. You have, at least give it a good, 10 seconds. Just, someone's going to be lurking somewhere. And if they're not on A, there's probably, I don't know, deck on that omen lurking around.
Yeah, that's true. Now we're going into a little bit of a tech pause right now. So, I mean, how have we been seeing this, the score so far? I mean, WILLYG Palace, look at it. 10-3 so far. Yeah. Dominating performance. And it shows on the scoreboard, right? I mean, a lot of their players are getting just as many frags as each other, rather than Will, they're playing a bit more of a supporting role in terms of gathering information, but everyone else on WILLYG Palace, they're all double digits in kills, whereas the side of expansion, only Stokes and Soldier have got kills themselves, and then everyone else is nearly over 5.
Yeah, it's hard because I think expansion pack, they're playing well, but the second they start doing something different, WILLYG Palace are on it, like, you can have 1 round, no more.
Oh my goodness, that was a very aggressive play from Soldier, and I think that's exactly what they needed.
Exactly. Now, back off. You've got the advantage. That attacks me very, very hard now, especially without that Yoru. She's hard on.
also playing very aggressive on the flank right now.
Timing!
Oh no, the timing! Oh my goodness, Valorant timing is probably some of the best and worst things in this world. It's going to cost Soxy the life, and Will is going to take out Reb. Henny gets a quick response onto Luca before a trig comes out. Ooh, and so they're doing a bit of a pre-fire. Gets one. Can they get a second? No, they cannot.
Spike down A.
Spike is going to get picked up. And now with a 1 versus 2, the options for the side of WILLYG are very much open. Dogs.
Here's the rotate.
Yeah, here's the rotate, and is going to try their best to either follow through, pick up
30
another
seconds
gun,
left.
or just, you know, continue on playing
He's
with the
happy with that
stinger.
stinger.
Cover going out.
I mean, if you can, sit in your smokes and use it to your advantage, then go for it. But at this point, I don't think it's worth the risk.
No.
Shadows
Depends where they're trying to smoke. Yeah, no.
Especially if you're going down long. I mean,
Yeah. At least pick up a longer range rifle. I mean, they walked past a
bulldog.
bulldog and an outlaw.
Yeah. It's unfortunate, but again, it happens. We're seeing a lot of sheriffs now. One marshal. Again, good guns compared to the vandal and the outlaw. Not so much.
No.
You can play it smart. You can really, sit back and make sure you're doing the exact right thing. We're on 11-3 now.
Yeah, I mean, going into this conversion round, I mean, the expansion pack, they use a little bit of their money to try and, gamble, they're winning to an extent, and unfortunately it's not paid off for them, so their inventory is a little bit worse for wear. But will that stop them from defending their site? G Palace Soldier starts the round off with a lovely headshot on Saluki. Doesn't matter how much you've got, you get hit in the head, you die, and Henny's also just going to showcase that as well. Oh my goodness, Dex gets forced out by the Aftershock, but the members of expansion packs are lining up quite nicely for Dex's crosshairs. Another day in the office, and Reb is going to be another victim. Yes, they are. Dex is going to be on to an ace. Can they close it out? No, they cannot. Gogs is going to deny Dex the ace in this conversion round. An opportunity has presented itself. How much of an opportunity is yet to be questioned. Being able to pick up a Vandal, 85 HP. They've now got a better chance. I don't know if that was the place they wanted to teleport. And that Aldrome spots them. Gogs makes quick work of Luca before they fall to the hands of Porky Chop.
I mean,
Quite a dicey round in
just
the end.
Clearing the whole site.
Match point.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been very possible for Gogs. I think that pressure was on. And what I'm finding is the difference is, Gogs and Deck are both playing really well as that Omen, right, and their smokes. But we're clearly seeing a big difference in the way that they're playing around these smokes. For the team in general, it's great on both sides. But Deck, 17 kills on top of the leaderboard. You can't complain if your Omen's top fragging.
Exactly.
He's cleared sight with. I don't know anymore.
As we're going into what could potentially be the final round of this match.
Wow.
Ooh, Luca starting off quite nicely. 21 HP after that exchange, but they'll be able to secure themselves an elimination, and WILLYG Palace are going to secure themselves the site quite comfortably. The Blaze Storm is going to get popped. Bit of a Hail Mary play now coming out from Soldier. One shot to the head with the kunais is all they need to reset their blades. As the expansion player are going to start playing for the retake, Dex is going to start off denying them. But it's going to get traded out, and it's a 1 versus 3. It's all up to Gogs. Yes, they're healthy. But is it going to be enough? Have they got the firepower to fight back? Yes, they do. Oh, it's a lovely start for the Gogs' clutch. Luca is on very, very little HP. 1 bullet is all they need. Can they find it? Yes, they can. And Gogs clutches up quite nicely. And they are going to be able to secure that defuse just in the nick of time.
I do believe we just heard them in the background.
I just heard them as well. Yeah.
I think Gogs is very happy with that clutch. I mean, if you're going to do it, that's the time to do it. I'll be honest with you. And I was going to, mention about, I think this game's kind of coming down to, I've seen expansion pack play, right? They're very good, but they've definitely played better than this before. And it's early morning, first game of the day. It's hard, right? You need to warm up. And I think WILLYG has kind of hit that, running, and they've come in this morning ready to play. I think that might be the major difference.
Exactly that being the case, yeah.
But I mean, Gogs just proved me completely wrong.
It's
Yeah.
you and me.
Gogs has done really well. Ooh. Orky getting sent into the domain expansion. Oh my god, what the? That's disgusting. Oh, that's so gross. I need a shower. Oh my goodness. Oh, Soldier gets a lovely lurk. Guess what? What is happening? Porky finds an elimination onto Stokesy. It's all going WILLYG Palace's way, but Lukey is not going to be able to follow up, unfortunately. The normal effect is going to be finding the members of Expansion Pack. The last 2 members have been spotted over towards Defender Spawn, as one of them is trying to rotate up into Heaven. Reb with the Judge. Can they use it to execute any of the members? Gogs is going to start it off. Evens out the numbers. But in terms of firepower, it's still in WILLYG Palace's favour. Turret going to get set up. It's going to get taken out. And this crossfire from WILLYG Palace is set up beautifully. And down goes Gogs. And map number 1 goes to WILLYG Palace in quite the convincing fashion.
Yeah, definitely. I can hear them celebrating in the background.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just perfection.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry, Porky.
Yeah, well, that was disgusting. That was gross. That was actually vile.
Oh, you can't be doing that, man. First game of the day.
This morning.
Chill out. You've got so many games to come. You're fine. But, I mean, you can't complain.
No, you can't. Very good start for WILLYG Palace this morning. We're going into map number 2, which is going to be bind. You know, I mean, if WILLYG...
It shakes things up.
It does, it does. If WILLYG continue on with... with this momentum, it's going to be, you know, another smooth sailing ride for them. But we are going to go for a quick break, quick 5-minute break. You know, it's morning. Some people might need their coffee, maybe a little bit of a scrant, you know, perk up the body. But we'll be back very, very shortly. Hello everyone and welcome back from that short break. Back with the Valorant tournament, sponsored by our lovely sponsors of Asus Republic of Gamers. They contributed quite nicely to the prize pool as well as the prizes for the MVP this event. And we've just come back off the map of quite a convincing victory from the side of WILLYG Palace.
I mean, yeah, again, I don't want to say the word stomp getting thrown around a little bit, but
Yeah.
it was, I think it's acceptable to be
A bit one-sided.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we use those terms. However, in best of threes, this is what happens, right? This is the reason we have these best of threes. Because, it takes some people, a while to show up and get those rounds going. I think if expansion pack can start off Bind pretty strong, get those pistol rounds, they can use that momentum. And I think Bind's the place to do it.
Yeah, 100%. That, no doubt about that. Yes, so like you're saying, yeah, with these best of threes, it gives the teams an opportunity to claw their way back. I mean, if WILLYG Palace take this, they've won the series.
Yep.
But if not, we go to our decider over towards Abyss.
I want to see Abyss.
It would be nice to see Abyss. I'm quite happy to like that we're seeing Bind as well. Like yesterday with like the best of ones, didn't really see too many variations in terms of maps.
Yeah, I believe Bind this game now makes the fact that we've had 4 maps over the last day.
Yeah.
And this, so yeah, we've had 4 maps.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Hull, Haven, Lotus, and now Bind.
Yep.
This is the only maps we've had.
Oh my goodness. I've yet to cast a Bind map, which is it's quite nice for me.
Yeah.
So it's good, but it just means that teams are just
They're confident.
They're confident. They're playing a little bit safer. Don't want to go from maybe a risky pick in terms of the map pool. They're just sticking to what they know.
Yeah, definitely. I don't blame them though, because we're getting into these playoffs now where one game we're not gone. You get lower brackets, but still you don't really want to be in that position where you can get knocked out. That's
true. And now that we are moving over towards Bind, are you expecting to see any changes in terms of the agent selects that we're going to be seeing from some of the players?
It's an interesting map because I mentioned earlier about the choke points.
Yeah.
It kind of creates this space where Breach can be really hard to play. So I don't think we see the same thing with Breach. I think more Gecko, Sky type things going on with initiators. In terms of Duelist, Porky Chop, renowned for his raise. His nade kills, might I add. He had like 5 nade kills in one game, I think, once before. Mental. So we might be seeing a few raises. Jets as well, that entry works really, really well. In terms of smokes, we've seen a lot of Viper being played on Bind before, maybe a double smoke thing going on. Tejo, again, might be seeing him. Good in every map, apparently.
Yeah.
He's just good.
I think, Tejo is just a good agent.
Yeah.
I mean... Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Teo being picked for.
It would make sense. I think he's been out for a long enough time now, where people have been able to practice with him on these different maps. So, yeah.
I think the way with Teo's kit, it's like it works quite nicely with how close quarters Bind can be. Yeah. If you get forced out, you get forced out in the open. But there's also opportunities for players to relocate into safer positions. But it kind of just all comes down to how well teams can coordinate themselves off their abilities, right?
Again, I mean, sorry, going back to the choke points.
Yeah.
With you know, for example, the missiles on Taeho
Yeah.
or the thorns from Vice, though you're gonna get stuck very, very quickly. Even the Gecko Molly, you know, stuff like that. It creates such an impact on the game. I want to see it.
That's true. Like,
Really well.
positioning is key, more so now than ever, right?
Yeah.
But have you seen some of the future changes that are coming to the game?
I believe so.
Have you seen that slows are now going to be applied to
No,
dashes?
Yes, I did see that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
I don't know. I'm not too sure how much it's going to mix up the game. Again, it depends on agents and like the go-to comps, these kind of things. But hold on, we've got 2 Taehoes on one team. What's going on? You can only pick.
I wonder if they're going to be playing Agent Roulette, right?
Oh,
Well, it looks like Porky is going to be picking up their, the infamous Rays, right?
let's see it.
Who's going to be playing Taeho? Nobody knows. But we are
It'll be
seeing on
Will.
the side of expansion pack Viper,
Yep.
Sky, and Gecko. Viper
Hold on,
as
hold
well as I think you've just like called this one out. Yeah, I think you've.
What can I say?
You know, your brain is cooking. The wrinkles are big.
Starting to warm up a little bit.
You know the brain is flowing, and
Exactly.
you've called it all out. But we are going to be seeing Taeho coming out the side of WILLYG.
Yep.
Deadlock, quite a nice pick. I quite like Deadlock.
Deadlock has been being more and more popular on this map. It works again. It's these choke points. It's so crucial. Those slows, the little trips that she has, like
Sound traps, yeah.
yes, sorry, yeah. I mean, they're so deadly. Like Raze is the go-to choice as we're seeing. You immediately satchel onto site and you get caught by a sound trap and you're done.
Oh, yeah, you're cooked. I mean, even you get like caught. Sorry.
Words.
Words? What are the words? You get like sectioned off. Sorry, yeah,
Yes.
by the wall, right?
Yeah.
Yes. You can use abilities and shoot through it, but your physical body cannot pass
Yes.
through, right? So if you get caught in those
within
walls,
yeah.
within the walls, right? What's to stop an armada of
Yeah.
utility coming through, right?
Exactly, and these volleys.
So as we're going into the buy phase, I mean, we're getting this lovely cinematic of Bind right
Yeah.
now, coming through.
It's a nice map.
It's a nice map, right? Back of B side's looking very, very nice. We're getting zoomed quite into Kingdom right there. So, whilst we're waiting to get into the game, right? I'm still confident in the fact that WILLYG are going to take this. I think it's going to be a 2-0 victory for
So
WILLYG.
do I. Yeah. I'm really intrigued about this comp from expansion
Yeah.
pack. It's very bold.
Very
It's
indeed.
so attacker heavy.
Oh, God. Well, there's no chill.
No,
Straight away.
away.
Straight away, those guided salvos just come right out, and it's just going to stop Lucy from making the way forward. Oh, but Lukey's just going to get caught completely off guard by that Dizzy coming through that teleporter, and down they fall. And Dex is just going to go through the teleporter, make the way around. Stealth drone coming out to clear out sight. Going to find one. I'm not going to get them suppressed. So, WILLYG Palace, off that initial contact, are just going to
Spike planted.
sprint onto A, get that spike planted, and play for the post plant. Dogs might be making the way towards 2. Not going to get caught out by the clone, but Soldier is going to take out 2 before Dex does as well. And all the dancing feet coming out. Oh, Stokesy gets caught out by the guided salvo. The Soldier picks up a 3rd for themselves. Gonna get that spike to half. Not opting to stick. Don't think they know where Will is, but it doesn't even matter. Oh no.
I was about to say expansion pack started off so well.
They
I
did.
mentioned about it's a very attacking side of map comp, and I mentioned they really have to start this game real strong, and we saw it. But then again, WILLYG Palace reading them like a book. Yeah, okay, do what you want on B. We'll take A. Go for
Yeah.
it. And then Will with the missiles.
Oh man. Teo, he's an agent, isn't he?
He really is in the game now.
He's quite the agent. So just remember, Project 8 is a game where abilities do not kill the agents. They are specifically there to enhance the gameplay, as showcased to us by Will. Thank you very much for that. Now, WILLYG Palace, they've got picked up a round for themselves, and we're looking like we're going into a little bit of a tech pause. I wonder who it is in this game. Who is the culprit? My guess is Porky Shop.
Yeah, I'm always ping steady. Oh, I don't know.
I don't know. I mean,
hey, it could be a might not be a PC malfunction. It could be anything.
Could be anything. Could be a headset. Could be a mouse. I wonder. Their communication system has gone buggy, so they are going to be restarting their PC. So hopefully, it shouldn't be taking too long. So shouldn't be too much longer. But yeah, so thankfully, it wasn't anything too serious. You know, imagine if we had like a a RAM or a CPU or a GPU issue. Oh God.
Had a few of those in the past.
Yeah,
it's been bad.
Yeah, I mean, coming to these LAN events, relying on the players to bring their own setups, anything could happen. Unpredictability is in the air. Who knows whose system is on their last legs?
Part of the fun.
It is.
Like a roulette.
Exactly. Yeah, spice things up.
Exactly.
Whose PC's got one foot in the grave and one foot in the banana peel? That's the age-old question.
Yeah,
but.
Definitely.
Looks like it's all sorted out now, so hopefully the comms are back online and able to speak nice and clearly.
We've got that outlaw once again.
Yeah, we do.
So strong. I mean, obviously the reload time is a little bit long, but honestly, worth it.
Oh my goodness. So aggressive. Lukey takes out 2. Just as fast as it started. 4 members have fallen on the side of the expansion pack. No damage can be dealt to the side of WILLYG Palace. It's not exactly what expansion pack want, but it's kind of what we're expecting right now. There's not much that they're going to be able to do. And Henny, with a classic in hand, has got to face off against quite the armada.
Poor Henny.
I know.
Wait a second, your whole team's dead. Right. Cool.
So, okay, guys, what's happened here? Ooh!
Damage.
You know what? A valiant attempt, but unfortunately, close is not enough.
No, and all 5 guns are still within the game.
Yep. Nice, easy, flawless round. And thanks to that, Lukey was able to get the ultimate online. Despite only having 2 kills, getting quite a lot of those ultimate orbs.
Yeah, true. So TP back and forth, grab a few, get on the site.
That's the beauty of Yoru, right? Yeah. You can get your ultimate so quickly if you're given the freedom to. You set your TP on one side of the map, grab the ultimate orb on the other, go back, get the ultimate orb, and look at this little lineup coming out here.
Lovely stuff.
Lovely stuff.
Yeah.
Nicely placed. That dimensional drift coming out straight away. Get a bit of information. They saw the molly coming out from Stokesy. You can spot one on top of truck. Ooh. Soldier's going to get sectioned off by that lineup. He is going to get peppered a little bit. Unintentionally so. But with that spike getting planted now onto the site. Retake is the name of the game for the side of expansion. Now with the changes that you can't ping through smoke. Who's it going to be? Can the silence be quelled? Yes, it can. Soldier, Dex, Gogs, and Reb will again taking out each other. And it's all up to Henny once more. They're going to get caught out by the stun. Guiding Light coming out, but fortunately they're going to be guiding themselves to the afterlife.
All 10 players were alive about 10 seconds ago.
Yeah.
And then it just chaos exploded on A site. Unbelievable. I mean, poor Henny, once again, left to his own devices and unfortunately couldn't clutch it up. But, I mean, again, that's the 3rd round now. And it's not looking too great. Back on a save round once again. The Sheriffs, they're doable, but it's not looking likely. And I do believe there are a few ultimates on the horizon.
They are. Guarding salvos once again coming out, forcing Stokesy into the back end of showers. They do get spotted. Not able to get around there fast enough. Didn't want to give away position, but unfortunately too little, too late, and down they fall. So they've only got to rely on the Viper for the smokes, and Luca is going to find one for themselves, and Reb gets a nice, quick elimination onto Dex. But Luca is there for the trade, for the nice little two-piece combo that they've got going, and all of a sudden, Expansion Pack once more find themselves in quite the numbers deficit. I think a recurring theme is happening right now.
I do believe so. We are down to a 2v4, and yeah, okay, you have duelists and you have your smokes. Okay.
Okay, interesting start. So Porky Chop is going to fall down to the hands of Expansion Pack, but Gogs is on such low HP, they're going to get caught out by that grav net. They're not going to do anything about it. Unfortunately, no. I mean, if they try to, the Sound Q is just going to give them away. They're just going to get eliminated anyway. And ooh, what a lovely little peek coming out from Soldier. Marksman on the battlefield. But unfortunately, that wall is just going to deny them any opportunity. But the satchel brings them over. Oh, what a shot from Soldier. My goodness. The memories, they're coming back. The trees are talking. And with that showstopper coming out, are they going to do anything? Yes, they are. They managed to, just in the nick of time, catch themselves a 3K as well as a clutch defuse. And they get themselves around on the board in spectacular fashion.
Wow. Unbelievable. You know, Gog's getting that kill, you know, bringing it back just enough for some sort of, you know, chance of winning that round. And then immediately getting caught and he's like, yeah, like, the Sound Q. The second I start taking this net off, I'm done. But then Soldier, oh wait, I have a satchel. Give me a second. And then oh, the headshots as well.
Oh my god. Oh my goodness. If there was a time to clutch up, it was right there and then. And oh my goodness, those Sheriff headshots did absolute wonders. And some wonders might be happening. But oh no! Poor Soldier. They had a really good start to the round, but they just get taken down. Oh, Stokesy gets caught in the annihilation. Can Reb save them? No, they cannot. They're just gonna, it's just gonna make the demise just happen that much faster. And once more, two players on the side of Expansion Pack. Henny's gonna kick things off. Gogs is gonna follow up quite quickly after. Can Henny do anything more? No, they cannot. It's all up to Gogs in a 1 versus 3, 1 versus 2 now. They're going to get stunned by that special delivery. And they're going to give them a special delivery back as they take out Will for a 3K. And it's all up to Dex. Both members are low on HP. Classic versus Vandal. That's quite an easy match. Nice little 4K for Gogs. And now they've got to just find that spike to defuse it.
What's happened?
I have no idea.
I don't understand. They're starting to show up. They can't. Really interesting because, you know, when they're in like a 4v4, it doesn't seem to go well. But the second the clutches need to start happening, they are showing up and it's working. It's working well. I mean,
Yeah.
Gogs already. You know, last game was a little bit slow.
Yeah.
Weren't seeing too much from him. Look at him now.
Yeah, no, exactly. Now, thanks to that clutch, they've got their Viper pit up and ready. But on the side of WILLYG Palace, we have got, you know,
Yep.
we've got 3 ultimates. We've got the Armageddon, we've got the Showstopper, and we've got the Orbital Strike as well. So, in terms of, you know, who's got the better firepower, it's all in WILLYG's favour. I think they're going to be using it to their advantage. Guarded Salvos zoning out the members of Expansion Packs, giving them an opportunity to get the ultimate orbs, allowing Lukey to get their dimensional drift online. And look at that, all of a sudden 4 members of WILLYG Palace have got ultimates to dispose of.
That's the second time having the dimensional drift.
Yeah, and that dimensional drift coming out. Selexy gets spotted. Oh no, they're just going to get cooked. There's nothing that could be done. Armageddon is going to be coming out, throwing out all the abilities and the kitchen sink into the members of the Expansion Pack, and the Thrash is going to come out. Dex is going to be able to dance the way out of lamps in the nick of time, and everything is going to hell. The chaos has ensued, and Will is going to keep it going. Henny is going to fall, and 2 members of Expansion Pack are going to find the demise, and it's all up to Gogs. Can they clutch it up once more for the Expansion Pack? No, they cannot. Things looked good.
They held their ground well.
Not good enough.
Yeah.
What just happened?
I'll be honest, yo. Reb, Lukey immediately TP's out of the dimensional drift, and Reb just turns around and one-taps him. Yeah, mate.
Just
Nice try. But, I mean, there were so many orcs online, and then they're all gone. So
Yeah.
many used within such a short time.
Wow.
I don't know.
I mean, they've got Porky's got the showstopper.
Yep.
You know, at least they didn't invest that.
Yeah, true. They still
know.
got, and they got the Viper's Pit on the side of expansion pack, which is very, very strong.
That is true. That is true. I mean, with the way that WILLYG Palace are setting up, it's going to make sense for their Viper player to make the way over to A side, just so they can pop the Viper's Pit to deny that initial aggressive push coming out from WILLYG, because WILLYG have been playing very, very aggressive consistently for a lot of these rounds. Despite despite the initial resistance coming out from expansion pack, it doesn't really stop WILLYG at all.
Exactly. That's what I was kind of trying to mention a bit before, because the expansion pack, it's got a really aggressive comment, really, hey, we're still playing, and then WILLYG, okay.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, cool.
Makes no difference to us.
Good for you. And that dimensional drift is so good. I love it because you expect big damage and something. It's so good for information. Luki's like, yeah, mate, he's right here. Luca, throws a net. Orbital strike, done.
Yeah.
It's the teamwork. It's so good.
It's just easy coordinated. Just as easy as counting as 1, 2, 3, right? And speaking of 1, 2, 3, 3 members on the side of expansion pack are going to peek out, and they're going to start off the round by taking out Dex, and Porky Chop is going to get cooked, poisoned, and singed a little bit. They're going to be coming out with a few more burns than they'll probably open for, but nothing too crazy that they're not going to be able to bounce back from. But Luca is going to be inching their way forward past A main, but they're not going to be making contact with anyone, as expansion pack are opting for a rotate. Quite the interesting call.
Yeah,
Let's
Henny's
see how it works out.
left on his own once again.
Sheriff in hand. You've seen how it goes. Now, with that information, are any members of expansion pack going to opt for a rotate, or
No.
are WILLYG Palace going to try and fake out a teleport and use that opportunity to get onto site? That they are. Henny's been forced back, so WILLYG Palace, they're going to take out site for themselves. Henny's just going to have to stand their ground over into Elba there. But, with a wall and plate, it's not exactly going to do much for them. Take a little bit of time to take it out. Oh, Gogs gets the elimination onto Luki as they're trying to go for a drive-by, but Porky is going to find an elimination for themselves onto Stokesy. Orbital strike on the side of expansion pack, completely gone. Will finds one, but the members of expansion pack just make swift work of WILLYG Palace, and they find themselves around on the board. This series, specifically on Bind, is very much closer than what we saw on Haven.
I mean, they're already on the rounds that they had at the end of last game anyway, and we're getting to a point. I don't know. The sheriff kills are so powerful. You sit there going, I don't understand how they're getting these sheriff kills, but when it comes to a full buy round, they're struggling a lot more.
Yeah.
It's interesting because I think it gets to a point where if you're on a save round, you're having to play a little bit more careful, think about it a bit more, and be in the right position. I think it's forcing them to think more about the game itself rather than getting those kills.
Yeah.
And it's working out for them. So I think maybe they could continue to do that during a buy round. Might be seeing a little bit more, but there is an op on their side. Soldier.
Soldier, yeah. So as long as they're able to, get off their satchels in the nick of time, they'll be able to get out. I think their shoulder just got spotted by that stealth trainer. Scravnet, showstopper coming out. Reb is going to deny Luki an opportunity to get the kill, but they're going to fall just in the nick of time. They were able to get themselves 2 kills, and Stokes is going to find the trade on to Porky. A little bit of damage coming out from that boombot. But for the first time in what feels like a long time, expansion pack have the numbers advantage, and can they continue it on? Can they use it in their favor? Trailblazer coming out from Henny is going to spot Luca. No stun is going to come out. Ooh, but Will and Stokesy very nearly brush shoulders. And Stokesy now has an opportunity to catch Will off guard and make the numbers further in the favor. Oh my goodness! That pesky box. Will is brushing with death, and Luki is going to be the first one to meet it. No, they're not. Oh, they're not quite ready to see death just yet, but the barrel got spotted by Gogs, and Gogs is going to take out Will, and it's all up to Luca. 51 HP, but they do have the spike in hand. 30 seconds, and they're going to speed their way over to B, and the members of Expansion Pack put their running shoes on as well to try and meet their match.
Spike planted.
Now Luca getting caught by the vulnerable. Oh no! Oh, they got cooked.
Quite literally.
Oh.
I don't know. I couldn't tell if he actually knew he was in there or not.
I think they did. I
No
don't.
urgency.
No.
You gotta stay calm, to be fair. But
Yeah.
Gogs
Well,
was-
you know what? They got the plant money at
yeah.
least.
Gogs was debating going back and getting the op, but did not want to risk the round. They've got money.
They got they got money. They've got the annihilation
Yeah.
up online now. So you know what? But going into this next round, I don't think they're gonna opt to invest anything. You know, Will's gonna get their Armageddon online soon.
Yeah.
But Lukey and Dex, they're a little bit far away. But with how much
Yeah.
Lukey's been able to
Lukey's
dip and
had two
dive
already.
behind the
He
round
can-
map. Yeah, I think he can get a third dimensional drift this
Oh,
in this
100%.
first half. But for the side of expansion pack, Stokesy and Gogs are still yet to use their ultimates. I mean, Stokesy has unfortunately been finding the end of the mortal realm and not being part of it. And Soldier nearly sent Porky to the ethereal side as well. Teleporter as well as the flash getting prepped and ready. Oh, but Reb gonna take out Lukey, but Porky Chop is gonna take out Reb in the trade. Strike coming out just to zone off the members of WILLYG Palace. Fortunately, they're not going to be able to find anything. They don't have that wombo combo that WILLYG Palace have to secure those orbital strike kills. So nothing of value is going to come out other than the decreasing time of the clock.
It's a big thing though, right? Because it puts that pressure on the second it starts, get 30 seconds or so. You really have to start, moving quickly. But I don't think at any point WILLYG Palace start panicking, and that's the difference.
No, they're not, but I think the expansion pack might want to start thinking about panicking in a second because Stokesy once again gets caught in the web, and goodbye. They are now spider food as they're just going to get chewed up and spat out, and expansion pack find themselves in a deficit once more. A place they are very familiar with at this point. I feel really bad for Stokesy. That's twice now that he's get caught by the annihilation. That nade is going to be working out well, and oh my goodness, 2 easy quick frags, and the numbers have turned. The script has been flipped, and expansion packs are starting to come out on top, and with that showstopper coming out, Will, with their guided salvos, is just going to put them straight onto the bomb. And Soldier makes quick work for a nice easy 3k, and that defuse coming out, and expansion pack, they've taken the lead quite surprisingly, might I add.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing good. I mean, that nade was, I'm not too sure, was a bit of a, let's just clear the corner just in case, and managing to get 2 out of it.
Yeah, I mean, they got a lot more than they were expecting.
I think so.
That was the pivotal point for expansion pack right there. I don't. If they didn't get these those 2 nade kills, that round would have been very, very different.
Yeah, definitely. I think we're gonna see WILLYG now use Will's ultimate just to be able to secure this even rounds again, because they've given up that lead.
That they have. Ooh, Soldier is going to get spotted by the stealth drone, but Rev is going to take it out. Ooh, the fake TP coming out, trying to just keep the members of Expansion Man on their toes. Decoy coming out. Moonbot is going to get taken out. That guided salvo is going to force them away from Garden. Now, this gives them an opportunity to run up through long, as well as an opportunity to use that Armageddon to completely clear out B site. Is Will going to opt to use it? I strongly recommend they should. We'll see how WILLYG Palace decide to play this out as the momentum will come to a halt. Oh man, Dex just throwing a few shots out, and then Henny is going to find one for themselves onto that trade, but Lukey is going to make swift work. Out comes the Armageddon. Soldier's going to get flashed and get destroyed just as quickly, and now WILLYG Palace get themselves onto site. That wall is completely blocked off any form of entry that expansion pack can have. And it's not looking good. Hookah all the way at the back of Hookah there. Not going to quite see the forehead of Reb. But that mosh pit is going to give them an opportunity. Zone them out. Trade coming out from both sides. Stokesy with the operator. And Lukey is about to push up. Finds one. I think at this point you might want to start making your way for the hills. But you might want to start taking a few members of WILLYG Palace out in the first, just before
Yeah, I mean, I think it was that thing I mentioned earlier with WILLYG, that false sense of an advantage that they give expansion pack. They'll all just sit back, yeah, take sight again, you know. Happy. Sure. And then immediately they have such, double the amount of players on their side, so they have time to, get traded once or twice, but it works out in the end. And managing Stokesy managing to get a few more kills there works out, I guess. But at the same time, we're seeing still a decent buy from WILLYG.
That we are, yeah. I mean, this first half is very, very even. I mean,
yeah.
Haven, very convincing lead for WILLYG Palace, but Bind, however, this could be anyone's game.
Yeah. And I think it's like using that map to your advantage as well. Like I said, Haven, one of those very default maps, and it is very much down to mechanics and how good you are at using those abilities.
Yeah, and let's see how good Lukey is at using this dimensional drift. They've been very consistent in being able to use it. Out comes a clone. Members of expansion pack are not going to fall for it, but that stealth drone is going to be tagging Henny at least. Gogs is having to make all the way back over into halls, not before they just get a little bit cooked in the process. And those guided salvos zone Henny, keeping them in elbow, allowing WILLYG to get quite comfortably onto site. Light gets planted. Orbital Strike now online for the side of WILLYG Palace. So they can play this post plant quite comfortably now. Sonic Sensor is going to get destroyed. Luca is just going to get forced out of position thanks to that raise nade. No information is going to be given by either Dizzy or the Guiding Light, and it's just allowed Luca to just secure themselves 2 quick kills and a 3rd in spectacular fashion, but Henny's going to deny them the 4th. 2 versus 3 situation, post plant, Orbital Strike online. The odds are stacked against expansion, even more so now that Porky Chop is making a huge damage. And Henny's just got one option to run away, but Will is not even going to give them that.
No, not at all. I mean, if you're going to have, I don't think that was a waste. The Orbital Strike worked really, really well, because they've halved it, right? And they know that. It's just, when you have somebody like a high player advantage, it's like, oh, but hey, if you're going to do it, you've got to do it. We've got one more round anyway.
Yeah.
And the likelihood of needing to use it for this round isn't that high. And now WILLYG Palace have those 6 rounds. And yes, they could even it out and have a 6-6 half, but they're guaranteed that no matter what.
Yes.
And if they can get this next one, it'll create a two round difference, which, yeah, pistol rounds could be anyone's game, but that could give them that higher lead.
Ooh, speaking of lead, it looks like expansion pack are going to start things off with an aggressive defensive push, meeting WILLYG Palace at a match of who can kill them quicker. And with no ultimates coming online for this final round in the first half, it's all going to come down to the gunplay and the coordination of each member of the team. WILLYG Palace taking the time to push up through B long. And it looks like expansion pack are kind of doing a bit of a ring around the rosies right now. They're kind of flipping the roles right now. Are they going to get caught on the
It could work.
Stokesie's got a really good opportunity to pick up a few kills right now because they're completely unaware. That's not what you want to be doing! No! Stokesy, Lukey was served up to you on a silver platter and you just discarded it. And now Henny is on the black foot and Lukey was able to get the dimensional drift thanks to that. With the plant and that kill. Information is going to be given out. Special delivery going to be coming out from the side of WILLYG Palace. And as well as that snake bite. Ooh, Luca's gonna get blinded. Oh, but Luca gonna take them out. But it doesn't even matter. Seeker's coming out. 1v1 situation. Oh, wait, but hold on. Luca is stuck by the wall. Oh no, this might be a blunder. This is quite the blunder indeed. Oh, but Lenny! It didn't stick. Oh no, they've only got a classic in hand. Oh, Prozone fake. Prozone fake. They stick it. And they get it. 6-6 half. You know what, that's probably the best outcome that expansion pack could have asked for right there.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, Henny being left by himself a lot of times in that first half and managing to clutch up. I don't want to be the one to say it, but I do believe Stokesy, that wasn't the first time that has happened this game. And it's horrible to see. And it happens, But
you know what?
It's unfortunate.
You know what? Quite the rough start from Stokesy there. But the rest of the members of expansion pack were able to pick it up and they were able to secure themselves a comfortable 6-6 half.
So much better than last game.
I know. This is quite nice actually. It's
Over there.
I'm glad that expansion pack have kind of like
Yeah.
woken up a little bit, and you know they're actually starting to fight WILLYG Palace, because coming into this, WILLYG Palace are quite the favourites to take EPIC44, but with how expansion pack are playing, there is a potential for an upset maybe.
Exactly.
Now, as we're going into the pistol round of the second half of this best of 3 series, is it going to go in the favour of WILLYG and close down a 2-0 victory, or are expansion pack going to start sending us to a third map? Who knows? I mean, it's going to be like whichever side wins this pistol round, it's going to secure themselves with at least a 2-round lead, as well as the less number of rounds to close out the game. And Gogs is going to start things off quite strong by taking out PorkyChop, and Soldier is going to swing out onto deck and take them out. But Lukey is going to find Reb, but the spike has been planted by the Salvos. Going in to Lamps. Nothing is going to come out of it. Nothing of value. Soldier holding their position. Ooh, Gogs lurking quite nicely, but Will quicker on the trigger and that much more accurate before they just got cooked to death. And Stokesy picking up a nice lovely little 2k for them, and
I mean,
Right here.
that's pistol round for
that is
them.
pistol, yeah.
If they played as well, they're guaranteed basically to get the next round,
Yeah,
and that's a 2-round lead.
that is a 2-round
And
lead.
I'm slightly concerned, of, like you mentioned, like WILLYG Palace are supposedly meant to be, the top dogs in the seeded 1, I believe, and it's just
Yeah.
like they're throwing a spanner in the works. This is starting to really look okay for expansion pack.
Are we going to see a potential upset? I mean, this buy round, it should go into expansion pack's favour. Then going into conversion round, it should, swing back to WILLYG. But it's going to be interesting to see, because WILLYG, they've bought Sheriff, so, their economy is a little bit dented. So if they, lose this round, not going to be able to go into, the conversion round with a heavy hitting arsenal. But look at this wraparound that the few members of WILLYG are doing. They just go all the way into... Hold on. I think the script is flipping a little bit right now. I mean, but look at the way that WILLYG are spreading themselves out. They're essentially going to start boxing expansion packs in like a box of rats. So I'm just going to kick things off, taking Luke out. And these next few moments is going to be incredibly pivotal for the side of WILLYG. Their firepower is very much lacking, but the way that they're going to find themselves
Spike down.
is very pivotal. Dex finds one on the flank, but we can see that the member of expansion pack is also on the flank as well, and PorkyChop might be finding their demise from the stinger, and Gogs is going to take out one. Can they find a second? No, they cannot, but Henny is going to be there for the trade, and it's all up to Lukey, but it doesn't even matter.
They got some kills, but I mean,
They got 2, wasn't enough.
I don't think that really matters to WILLYG.
No, I mean, the round kind of went the way we expected. Expansion pack picking up, 2-round lead, but WILLYG Palace, they're not able to buy the full shields going into this next round.
It's just funny, you have Gogs flanking
No
on the
charges.
flank, and it's just that read. Okay, we know. Okay, WILLYG Palace
Sound
don't like to be in
sensor
this
out.
position, right? They're not in any sort of advantage right now. They're going to be playing sneaky. They're going to be doing what they can to try and get some kills, most likely flanking.
Yep.
So Gogs is being that back line, and any sneaky play has been cancelled out.
That being said, Luca, testing the waters, spotting a couple members of the side of expansion pack. Trailblazer going to get taken out, and Luca is going to be holding the angle.
Molly.
Molotov from Stokesy forcing Lukey out of hookah onto Sands. Now there's a couple of members of expansion pack are pushing their way up forward. Soldier is going to be the first one to fall, and that grab net is going to be coming out, trying to lock down the members of expansion pack. But Henny's going to be able to take, get the net off, and that, that divider is just going to section them off. But gets taken out as quickly as it got set up. Oh, but look at this positioning from Luca. Do they clear the corner? Yes, they do. But Lukey is going to be finding the crossfire, and Reb gets taken out. Gets themselves a second from the side of WILLYG. And that is a flawless round for expansion pack.
I would have thought after that first death from expansion pack, they would have played a little bit more slower, tried to rework things. But they stuck to it, and I respect it. But
Sound
WILLYG
sensor
ready,
up.
and they want you to fall into these traps, right? They know exactly what they're doing and when. And with these guns that they had in that last round, it's so easy for them to like just do set plays.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they just did things, you know, by the book over on WILLYG. You know, they played really, really well for that round, and let's see if they can continue on that momentum going into round number 16. No information from the gun lights coming out, but with those paint shells coming out from the side of PorkyChop, it's going to give a bit of information away, and then Soldier responds in turn. Again, now they know that Showers is clear. It's going to give Soldier an opportunity to get their showstopper online now. Stealth drone, not going to be finding any form of information, but Stokesy giving the call of saying, you know what, B-side's looking a little bit more clear, time to rotate, but Lukey on the flank spots the shoulder of Stokesy. Are they going to find anything? No, they're not. They're just going to make a quick exit into Hookah and wrap over towards Garden. Now this is going to be very interesting, because if Lukey keeps pushing their way forward, they might find a couple members. No, they're not. Not quite quick enough on the trigger. And now they've left Will all on the lonesome over on the B side, but thanks to those guided salvos, it's going to buy them a little bit of time. Going to get caught by the Dizzy. Showstopper coming out. Can anything come of about it? Members from each side fall. Stokesy gets taken out by Luca. And with that, the members of Expansion Pack have made the executive decision to take the teleporter through Showers, and our little friend Wingman has made their appearance on Bind to plant the spike. Luca's going to get traded out before they take one for themselves. And ooh, Henny with their dancing feet finds deck. And it's a 1 versus 1 situation. Henny has a good idea of where PorkyChop is. Those footsteps being heard give away their position. And unfortunately, too many angles for them to clear. It makes easy work for Henny, securing themselves a 4K and puts Expansion Pack 4 rounds away from taking map number 2.
This isn't looking bad. I'm liking this. You know, we've got that Thrash now ready and waiting. Probably might see it on some sort of attack here. Not too sure if they want to do it fast, but maybe take it a little bit slow for the first minute or so and dive onto a site possibly. But I mean, you can't complain at this point.
No, you cannot. I mean, look, Gogs is very close to getting their Vipers put up.
Yep.
Another member of the side of Expansion Pack was also close to getting their ultimate up as well. And, ooh, Lukey trying to find another ultimate point for themselves. Trying to take out, you know, Gogs.
Oh yeah! Monster on the
And with Thrash coming out right now. Not going to find anything of value, but ooh, Soldier's going to get taking out Dex and gets themselves a second. How are they allowed to get away with that? Soldier and Porky, shoulder to shoulder. All that separates them is a smoke, and Wingman once again getting that spike planted. Thank you very much, my little friend. Doing God's work for the team, and as those guided salvos force Soldier out, they're going to find themselves a kill onto PorkyChop. Not before they're going to get taken out, and now Thrash has got a second chance at finding anyone. Unfortunately, no, they're not, and it's forcing WILLYG Palace to just save. And Expansion Pack are just starting to run away with this lead.
Yeah, it's throwing WILLYG off a bit. I'll be honest with you, they're usually such like a tight-knit wall, right? Like they are. It's just that's mean.
Oh,
poor Rep.
Yeah.
We'll just say hi.
Yeah.
no gun.
There wasn't any other outcome that was going to come out of there, let's be honest.
No. It's the least they deserve. You know, they've been losing these last few rounds. Give them a kill. You've got the money to buy again.
You're all more important than words.
But now, double
look
digits.
out for each other.
And we're on that home stretch now for Expansion Pack. And I love it when this happens, right? They're here for a reason, you know, they got to playoffs. The least they deserve is a chance to show themselves and prove themselves. And I mentioned it before in the first map, they're just not warmed up. You know, they've really got to start, you know, finding their feet a little bit, and they're starting to do it. And it's throwing WILLYG off theirs.
That is very much the case.
Look at the money as well.
Yeah.
A few ultimates online, but even so, Luca might be able to use that that ultimate to try and get a gun after snatching someone away, but
The wall coming out, getting destroyed just as quickly. I mean, Henny is one ultimate point away from getting their Seekers out. So I think the aim of the game right now for Expansion Pack is to, you know, push up, you know, create some space, get that ultimate orb in the pocket of Henny. And that is exactly how it's going to be playing out. You know, shots coming out from the side of WILLYG just to try and, like, you know, find any, you know, special lucky frags through the smoke, but, you know, nothing's going to come out of it.
Yeah, they got what they came for.
Yeah, and they might even be opting to go for that rotate. You know, those Seekers, you know, looking out for the 3 closest, you know, players at most across the map. So if they decide to make their way over to A site, they're going to know exactly where the 3 members of WILLYG are going to be placing. But the Annihilation as well as the Armageddon are in the back pockets of WILLYG Palace as those Seekers make their way out. Porky is going to be the first one to take out. Seekers get spotted by the Dizzy Wingman, getting that spike planted, but thanks to those guided salvos, is going to deny the plant. Fortunately, there's not enough health on little Wingman to get the kill, to get the plant down, sorry. But Gogs is going to start off with a kill onto Lukey. Porky Chop with the trade, but Soldier is going to quickly fire back. Oh, and Soldier catches Luca off guard with a grenade in the hand. Will finds 1, Dex finds 2, and all of a sudden it's down to Soldier. 20 HP and an orbital strike to zone them away. And I think Will could have just kept the opportunity to stick. And Soldier, what a valiant effort that was.
I respect it so much. I mean, down to 20 HP pretty early on and still managing to get 3 from it. Catching some people off guard without guns out. It's unfortunate that happens, but I mean, you can't complain about that. They tried hard and they're still in the lead. They're doing right.
That they did.
Even,
I mean,
sorry, even if they're losing rounds, you can still see that what they're doing is working. And it's unfortunate, like, rounds happen, you know, here and there, but what they're doing is so much better than last game.
Yeah.
You literally cannot complain.
That is very, very true. I mean, we got 2 ultimates online, you know, 2 showstoppers, a Viper's Pit, as well as the Dimensional Drift. So, looks like WILLYG Palace are going to be looking to go for a bit more of an information gathering, you know, side on this defense. Waiting for any form of contact. Lukey with the operator. We know how deadly that they are. Going to get spotted by the Trailblazer. Not going to get stunned, but they are going to be forced to TP out of there because any longer, and they're going to be counting their blessings otherwise.
I think they're going to really have to try and focus on getting rid of Gogs now. That ultimate can really save a round.
Yeah, and now with the new changes of not being able to ping through smokes as well, it just makes that Viper Pit even more valuable. Soldier is going to be prepping their showstopper. 2 seconds left, essentially, and down goes Lukey, not able to get out in the nick of time, and neither can Dex. As 2 members on the side of WILLYG just get taken out. That Viper Pit is going to get popped. Oh, and Henny takes out Luca. No party for the side of WILLYG as the members just keep falling down. They just keep leaving, and it's all up to Porky. 1 versus 4. 5, sorry. Viper's Pit
all looking at
doesn't
him.
even matter. A flawless round coming out from Expansion Pack. Yeah, Porky had no idea where to look.
I swear his ultimate should have done something. Maybe it might have been that like Curse of the Razor. But
Yeah.
I don't know. It's unfortunate. I mentioned that Viper's Pit. It's so strong. You cannot see anything. And like you said, the pings don't work anymore. You really have to just deny it as soon as you can. But I mean, the kill Henny you're on such weak, you know, such low HP, and you're still the confidence. You really got to keep it up, and he's doing exactly that. 14 kills. Very slow.
It is a very slow start indeed. You know, much slower than what we're normally used to. But thanks to that Viper Wall. Ooh! WILLYG Palace are going to use the opportunity here, but Gogs just absolutely destroys Luca by a nice, lovely one-tap. And Lukey missing the shots, having to just make a quick exit out of hookah. Oh, but Porky Chop with the Bucky gets 1. No. Can't get 2, but you know what? It's enough. Oh my goodness. The little distraction from Dex allows Will to get a lovely headshot through the wall. And Dex is going to make the way out. And oh my goodness, they're going to get taken out just as quickly as they show themselves. And oh my goodness, Expansion Pack are doing God's work right now. They're really putting WILLYG on the back foot in this series, and they've completely turned up, you know, their capabilities of what they are showing. You know, that first map wasn't exactly the greatest showing from Expansion Pack, but I think they're starting to show what they're truly made of.
Definitely, and
Last player standing.
Ooh, Lukey's not going to be happy with those shots as Henny just absolutely decimates them. Thresh not getting anything.
Again, the exact same thing happening. You know, yeah, okay, not getting anything, but just pushing them off. Yet you haven't got time anymore.
Exactly. I mean, like WILLYG are just spending too much time twiddling them with their thumbs and not able to, you know, make the necessary moves that they need. And down goes Reb as an exit frag, but Henny's gonna quickly respond in turn. That is match point. If Expansion Pack take this, we're going to map number 3.
Abyss. I love to see it, but I mean, it's so impressive again, like how easy it is to switch up after one game. And I don't know what's happening with WILLYG Palace because they don't seem as coordinated as they were in the first game. In the first game, you could see their comms working, right? And see the plays and what they're thinking.
Sound sensor out.
But at the same time, I just don't know. It's just
Time to hunt.
expansion packs have become a lot more unpredictable, and I think WILLYG Palace weren't expecting it.
Yeah, they were not all with that sonic sensor getting triggered. Soldier's going to get caught by the Gravnet. Luca and Lukey are going to find a kill apiece, and Stokesy has their crosser over on Will, but not going to find the elimination that they need. An Expansion Pack, they're on the back foot once more, and Dex is just going to be waiting patiently for 2 frags to come their way, and it's all down to Stokesy in a 1 versus 5. Can they ace clutch it to take us to map number 3? The chance is there, but my god, is it slim.
Play as slow as he can, trying to get any 1v1s.
Ooh, they are playing this very, very patiently, and is Luca going to be the falling? No, they're not! Oh my goodness.
Oh, I feel bad for Stokesy.
Yeah.
It's been a rough game.
That is, it's been a rough game for Stokesy, unfortunately. But WILLYG Palace are going to keep themselves in the game with a nice flawless round to boot. The economy not quite dented enough on the side of Expansion Pack. They've still got an opportunity to take this round and send us to map number 3, but if they don't, my goodness, they're going to be looking worse for wear in the upcoming rounds.
It's the fact that I was just like, yeah, you know, WILLYG Palace did really be thrown off by this, and then they just, the second the pressure is on with that 12, yeah, all right, here we go. They're really starting to fight for it now.
That they are. I think the fire is definitely being lit under the bums of Expansion Pack, and they are coming out swinging. And you know who also might be swinging? Lukey, after they pop their flash. And that they do. Can they find one? Yes, they can, and they make a swift exit out of there with an inch of their life. Oh my goodness, if there was no Outlaw, I think they probably would have been dead, but a lot of damage was done. Will manages to find Stokesy, but not going to get suppressed as that stealth drone works on line of sight.
That's the thing with the Outlaw, right? Okay, yeah, not one shot, but 10 HP, you really have to now sit back and rethink how you want to play.
Exactly. Oh, but look at where Gogs is. They managed to sneakily rotate their way over into Lamps, and they find an elimination on Porky. Thanks to it, the numbers have been equalized, and Henny is sending out their Seekers. The prey is being hunted, and the spike is being planted. Expansion Pack have got all the cards going their way, and the guided salvo is not going to deny the spike plant. Dimensional Drift coming out from Lukey to gather some information, but Will did not clear the corner enough, and it's given Henny an opportunity to find an elimination. Henny getting caught. Gogs taking out Lukey thanks to that snake bite. Such low HP, nothing was going to happen because of it. And Expansion Pack are looking to send us to map number 3, and that they do. 13-9, a closer second map, and we are off to Abyss.
We are indeed. Again, I can't stop mentioning it. You know, Expansion Pack really starting to show up that match, and it's what we want, right?
Yeah.
They deserve it. They're here for a reason. Yes, WILLYG are the reigning champions, and they are very good at what they do. But so are Expansion Pack.
Yeah, wow, what a second map. First map, very dominating. Second map, a much more of a nail biter, and what a nail biter it was. But after that excitement, we're going to take a 5-minute break just to calm ourselves down, and we're going to be seeing you over on Abyss for our final map of the series. short, lovely little 5-minute break here at the Valorant tournament sponsored by Asus Republic of Gamers. We've just come back off a nail-biter of a second map.
I have no words.
No, neither do I.
We were sitting here going, what's just happened?
Yeah, I mean, first map, 13-4, convincing victory to WILLYG, right? And then Bind. I don't know what happened to Expansion Pack. They had 5 minutes to sort something out, and something really did, as they took a 13-9 victory, and that is sent us to our decider, which is going to be Abyss. So, with it being the upper bracket playoffs right now, one of these two teams are going to be sent to the lowers, so they still have another opportunity to stay in the competition, but it could be anyone's game. If Expansion Pack keep up the performance that they are having right now, they're going to cause quite the upset.
Yeah, and honestly, I think it's doable, especially with Abyss, right? So, again, I'm going to mention the fact that Haven is very default map, right? So we're seeing WILLYG Palace show off their skills, first of all. Then we get to Bind, where, again, it's still very default, but you can really switch things up and use it to your advantage, which I think we saw Expansion Pack do. Right?
We did.
Abyss, it's a free-for-all.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
You can use it so well, especially mid. It's so hard. You've got lots of up and downs.
Yeah.
You can really throw WILLYG Palace off their game, and they already are, right?
Yes.
But again, they work well under pressure, so I'm seeing these guys start to really. All right, guys, let's lock in a little bit. Let's stop messing around and really pull this back. So I don't know. It could be anyone's game, and I think Abyss is a perfect way to show that.
Yeah, I think Abyss is, the map to, close things off, and I'm very happy that we are going to be going all the way. So, final map scoreline predictions. What do you think?
Ooh. Okay, hear me out. This is nothing against Expansion Pack, right? But from what we've seen in Best of Threes before, we see a stomp, a comeback, and then a stomp.
Okay.
And look, prove me wrong. And I honestly don't think it's going to happen, but based off of the Best of Three, you've just got to go for it. I reckon we're going to go, okay, not 6-13, 13-6 to WILLYG Palace.
13-6 to WILLYG. Okay. I'm thinking, if Expansion Pack continue their performance, I think we're going to go to overtime.
Okay.
Okay, and I'm thinking...
Third map overtime.
We'll be in for a long one. But if we do, I'm thinking it's going to be 14-12. I'll say WILLYG.
Yeah, I think if we go overtime, I don't think it'll last very long. But I think it's doable. I agree with you, but I'm going to stick with my guns.
I think so.
Yeah.
But this just in, Valorant players need the toilet.
Valorant players, as usual.
Yep.
Don't blame them. We've 2 hours in.
Yeah, 2 hours in, early mornings.
Yeah.
Some of them probably, had their morning coffees and haven't had much of a chance
must be
to
nice.
haven't
Rolled out of bed straight on the cast this morning.
But no time for you to get yourself prepped and ready. But some of these players probably haven't had time to relieve themselves, so they're just going to use that opportunity and extend the broadcast for a little bit longer.
The break, no worries, guys.
Yeah, but after that, I mean, today is going to be quite a long day for as a Saturday. Saturday always tends to be
Saturday's always the longest day.
Saturday's always the longest day, right? Best of 3 series.
4 best of 3s.
4 best of 3s. And was it if we go for the distance each map?
Yeah.
Well, the hour would be here for a long.
Maps.
Yeah, and let's say an hour each, right? We're looking at 12 hours of Valorant, which is not a bad thing at all.
No, not at all. I mean, I'm on for the next best of 3 after this as well.
That you are.
We're already hitting map 3. I'm like, it's going to be a long morning and afternoon, but...
It is. But you know what? You should be in for a good day, regardless of how it turns out.
100%. I mean, not to mention the vibes are up. We can hear a lot of shouting. We can tell when it's WILLYG and Expansion Pack because of the timing. But I believe there's a lot of CS going on at the moment as well.
100%.
Also, we've got Siege as well.
Yeah, Siege is happening upstairs, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, the T2 European Grand Finals are happening here at Kettering at EPIC44 as well, which is quite the nice surprise.
Pretty cool. I have to pop up and have a little look around.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, with how LAN's going at the moment, it's quite nice. It feels refreshing as well. Like, I mean, LAN in itself, there's a lot of consistencies, shall we say. A lot of things that happen consistently. But I don't know why. This LAN, there's just something different in the air. It feels a little bit more refreshing.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
definitely. And one thing, it just feels like I get that. I feel like everyone's a lot more combined this year. Usually the games get separated by rows, and they are still, but everyone's mixing with each other. You know, we got Osu down here this year as well.
Yeah.
We've got everyone together, and the vibes are up. We've seen a lot more. You know, the pub quiz last night.
Yeah.
I'm assuming there's a lot of games going on right now.
Yeah, I think something on the Counter-Strike side is going off.
Yeah, must be. But again, it's just the pub quiz. We participated in.
What place did you get in the pub quiz? Ooh. That's actually not too bad, to be fair.
No.
21 teams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't too bad. We are over half.
Yeah, top 10.
Yeah.
Was it? Our team got 5th, which was very
Oh,
surprising.
not bad.
One of our teammates was fully convinced that the markers lost our sheets because of how how high we were climbing up in the leaderboard. But yeah, no, 5th place was quite the surprise. And you know, I was also surprised how quick these Valorant players got back to their setups, right? We're going into Asian Select and we're seeing the Vice. I'm surprised we're not seeing the Teo here onto Abyss. You know, Teo being quite the oppressive agent.
Yeah. I would say the only thing about that would be that Abyss tends to be a map that people don't want to practice, and it's not one that they go for.
No.
So I guess maybe that could be why we're seeing a lot more default comps. But again, we're seeing double duelist from WILLYG Palace, which, if you're going to do it, they're doing it right, clearly. We've got Yoru and Jet together.
Yeah.
The dream team.
Exactly. I mean, I hope we get an opportunity to see some, you know, Jets jumping off the map and getting some, you know, Bladestorm snipes from, you know, 100 feet below below the map surface. That'd be quite nice. But, you know, we're seeing double Sova. Astra is being played, which is quite the nice pick in terms of controller. I think WILLYG have opted to go for an Omen pick, which is going to be quite interesting.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, Omen works. But compared to Astra,
I think Astra is just the
just
better
makes
controller.
so much more sense. But then again, we might be seeing these fast plays coming in with the Jet and the Yoru, and with that, you might want to have the smokes being placed down a lot more faster.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
they clearly know what they're doing. But in terms of Abyss, you tend to see Astra a lot more.
Yeah, exactly. I think it also just going to be coming down to like comfort and whatnot, because you know, Omen, you know, you get those. There's less setup time required for Omen. You can kind of just throw things out. You know, roughly where you need to be. Actually, you need to be a little bit more precise. But with the with Omen's paranoia, Jet can just quickly follow up with their, with their tailwind dash to just like sprint straight in onto site, and, capitalize onto the members that are nearsighted thanks to the paranoia. But whilst we're waiting to get into game,
so as much, there's only one breach.
Yeah,
interesting, and I think that's where the difference comes. You mentioned the Omen and paranoia, and I think the breach might throw a spanner in the works for expansion pack. Bring out something with that. Maybe Rolling Thunder throwing people off the edge of the map. Who knows? What's been left in spawn?
Yeah, I mean, left all the way at the top of mid. I think they're just going to leave the responsibility to Will, and the members of WILLYG are going to be falling down like flies as Henny kicks things off with a lovely little 3K in this first round of the final map of the series. And oh my goodness, I don't think WILLYG were expecting quite that quick of an upset. Soldier taking out Luca, and it's a 1 versus 5 clutch, all on the back of Will. Can they hold up the team on their shoulders? Can they stand like giants? They get 1, but with the firing squad ready and waiting for them, it ain't gonna happen. They're lucky to just get 1.
I'm really surprised by that. You would think that after the last game, WILLYG Palace be, really ready with some sort of strat for this. It seems so messy. They're getting picked off one by one. It just seems they're not. First round, obviously, right? But pistol rounds are very important.
Goes there.
And it really sets the game of how the rest of the game is going to go.
Yeah.
It's hard. We're seeing 1 Marshall now, but an Outlaw and 3 Guardians from the side of expansion pack. Very strong.
Yeah, expansion pack are really going to hit WILLYG Palace hard with the arsenal that they've got going. And oh my goodness, Soldier misses 1 shot but connects on the 2nd, but thanks to the stun, Lukey was able to capitalize and get a kill for themselves.
And
that is
not worth getting though.
No, they do know. With the intuition, they know exactly that the members of expansion pack are going to be holding down the fort on A main. And now with that arc rose coming out, no information is going to be given, so they know that mid is clear. They don't have to worry too much about the flank. Aldrin coming out from the side of Henny, just catching the clone. But look at WILLYG, they're making their way over onto site as they sprint through. Grogs hiding themselves, taking refuge in the smoke, finding 3. Oh, what a performance, and they find 4 as they take down WILLYG, sending them to the grave.
I mean, it's a great play, right? But if you see a smoke on top of a box, you know someone's going to be in it. You see it on A main here all the time. It can happen on B as well. It's just interesting because why would that smoke be there?
Yeah.
For any other reason, why would it be there? And don't get me wrong, great play, and it clearly worked very, very well. Gogs coming out on top with a 4K, but it just, come on.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just showing that WILLYG Palace, like, usually they would be thinking of these things, right? And it's just showing that difference in last game. Expansion pack really, they're keeping that momentum. Even after the 5-minute break.
Yeah, that they are. Now that we're going into conversion round, WILLYG have an opportunity to take this round. I mean, they got...
They did it last game as well.
Did it last game? Yeah, because was it Marshals,
Yeah.
Guardians and Outlaws on the side of expansion pack? You know, good weapons, you know, but they're going to need to be hitting these headshots now if they want to be securing the kills. But WILLYG, they've got themselves a nice little arsenal of Vandals and Phantoms with a Bulldog on their side as well. But this is a very slow start for WILLYG. See that the teleporter is coming out, and with those dark covers coming out now and setting themselves up, they're going to get themselves onto site. Reb going to get tagged, going to have to pop their cyber cage again just to keep themselves covered, and the spike is finally going to start getting planted. Now, as WILLYG are going to start setting themselves up, they are going to start moving around and playing for post-plant. One's going to get tagged. Luca is going to take out Stokesy on the flank, so a lot of utility is going to get taken out. And Soldier is gone as well. Gogs very low as the stun coming out. And it's just going to be a flawless round for WILLYG. Members of Expansion Pack have nothing that they can do, no answer to the fighting force of WILLYG in that conversion round, and it's to be expected, but was not expecting to be that convincing.
No, not to us. Exactly what we're used to seeing, right? That's the WILLYG Palace that we know and love.
Yes, this will do.
I never expect them to ever lose the conversion round, I'll be honest with you. It's their chance. But we are seeing Soldier with an operator. And we've seen him use this operator.
We'll reveal this.
He's not bad.
No, he is not. Soldier can do quite a lot of damage, but 4 members of WILLYG, Expansion Pack, are stacking over on to A main. And it is going to force WILLYG to, you know, slow down their aggression, right? But Soldier, with an operator, not going to connect their shots on to anyone from Willy. But Henny gonna get caught by that Hunter's Fury, gonna get taken out, but they were able to take out Luki in the process, and Porky used the opportunity to barrel in onto site and takes out Stokesy. Stokesy once again having a bit of an unfortunate game, not able to find themselves a kill at all within these first 4 rounds, and they will continue to not do so. Now, as we're going to get into a post-plant situation, a 3 versus 4, so a doable situation. Dex, you know, cutting down the numbers even more on the side of expansion. Can they do it again? No, they can't. Soldier getting their dancing shoes on to make the way out of there. And Gogs is going to just wide swing. Find Porky. Dex is going to TP, but they're going to get caught on the jump. But they come out on top, all of surprise. And Soldier's just making way for the hills, just running away.
Yeah,
they've got an operator in hand. They want to be saving that, but Dex is slowly on the hunt as well.
I mean, you shouldn't have an op in 4 rounds in.
4 rounds in, they've got an op
Mean.
already, yeah. But not really much value coming out of it, though. That's the
No.
thing.
Exactly, and at that point, there's no point in wasting it. Try and get value out of it again in the next round. But we're seeing 3 sheriffs, 1 op, and 4 sheriffs. Now,
sheriffs,
this
yeah.
is not the position you want to be in. Soldier's going to have a lot of pressure on himself now to try and get a pick or 2 so they can get some guns in the arsenal. Ultimate-wise, Astral Divide, it's there. We've got Henny on the horizon with that Hunted Fury as well. Could work hand in hand, possibly.
Yeah.
But again, they want to wait for these guns, probably become a little bit better first.
That they are. I mean, Deck was able to, you know, get themselves out from being located and revealed by the recon bolt. And WILLYG are just opting to go for a little bit of a, a bit more of a slow play, just trying to feel out where any of the members of Expansion Pack are, and the Razor Vine getting launched all the way out to the back. Now Arc Rose not finding anyone.
Take flight.
But with an operator in the hands of Soldier. Can they do some damage? Yes, they can. Down goes Porky. Gets cooked into pork chops right there. Now I made myself really hungry. And now as that spike gets planted, WILLYG getting themselves 2 kills. Soldier responding in turn with a trade onto Lukey. 3 versus 3. Even Stevens in terms of numbers, but the arsenal and weaponry is very much not the case. Oh, and Luca finding 2 kills through the walls. Oh my goodness, what an absolute stupendous play coming out from Luca, and that's all on the shoulders of GOG. A sheriff in hand. 1 bullet is all it takes, but can they connect the shots into the foreheads of the members of WILLYG? Time will tell, and the answer has been revealed. Wasn't going to happen, not in the slightest.
I'm really liking how WILLYG is starting to play, right?
Yep.
So we've got, I love an Omen Lurk, I really do, it works so well, the smoke stack, TPing back and forth is working really well. The Vice as well, being used as that breach, right, with that flash, because you can rely on those main flashes with that entry with Jet. So you can kind of do your own thing, and you're 2 rolled in 1, right? You've got that Sentinel, you can lock down on defense where you need to. But being able to use that flash and push up for back towards the back of A as well, and you have that confidence because you have the kit for it. It just works so well, and you can really see them starting to use this comp how it should be used.
Fault line coming out. Oh, and Soldier manages to just dodge the shear in the nick of time, but Luca's going to get tagged by the Hunter's Fury. But no Demise is going to be coming out just yet. Oh, and look at what Luke is. He's just dashed his way all the way onto site, making himself a little name for himself. And oh my goodness, Hetty just white twigs away from the clone before falling to the hands of Luca. Luca finding Soldier as they were nearsighted from the paranoia. Blaze-Storm finding 0 value, and the Cosmic Divide is just going to be cutting off the site. But what they do not know is that all of the members of WILLYG are on site already. Stokey finally finding the first elimination of the game, of the map, sorry. And Gogs is going to be making the way into the smoke. Takes out 1. Gonna get peppered by a second. 5 HP in a dream. Finds 2. Can they find a third? Dex is in the smoke. Do they know? Surely.
Taking a book out.
I was going to say.
Your own book, sorry.
Yep.
Can't see.
My goodness.
There's no way.
Is Gogs going to get a taste of their own medicine? No. Yes, they are. Oh, not enough bullets in the chamber to take Dex out.
2 can play that game.
Yeah, exactly. Dex was just saying, anything you can do, I can do better.
Incredible.
4-2 lead for WILLYG.
Yeah, 100%. And it's just, I think, okay, yeah, we mentioned the pistol rounds. They're crucial, right? Expansion Pack started off strong. Now this is their time. Okay, yeah, it's a safe round. Try and set themselves up for next round to really start pushing back, because this is where the lead starts leaving them just a bit too much. We get to 5, we get to 6, and that's where the problem starts.
Exactly that being the case. Stokesy with a sheriff in hand. Just trying to, peek in and out, see if they can, find any little bits of information. But with that range, you got to get two shots to the head in order to secure a kill. And nothing is going to be coming out of it. TP getting prepped and ready from the side of Lukey. But using it as a fake TP, try to just keep Expansion Pack on their toes. And WILLYG, I feel like each round they're just playing it slower and slower. They're biding the time more and more.
Get out of my way!
Storm is going to get popped by Porky. Going to be wrapping around. Updraft. Over onto the side of Pipes. Gogs gets taken out through the smoke. And Reb is going to jump down. Finds 1 before they fall to their demise. They initially deny the spike pan, but it's not going to stop them. Hawkey and Lukey going to get some kills through the smoke, and it's all up to Soldier. And oh, they find 1 through the crack of the smoke. Will's going to be feeling that one tomorrow morning, but Hawkey Chop makes swift work of Soldier right there. And now WILLYG are starting to run away with the lead. And out comes that timeout.
It is. Not had many in this series so far.
No, we haven't. I think this is our second one across the 3 maps.
And it's interesting because sometimes you really need them. And I guess the second game, there was a lot of momentum going. For Expansion Pack, they didn't need it. WILLYG Palace, definitely could have done a bit more possibly, but I mean, the fact that they're forcing a timeout now is pretty good for them. I mentioned that 5 rounds now. It really starts to leave, and it just keeps going. The train has left the station, and Expansion Pack really need to start catching up now.
That they do indeed. I mean, they were looking absolutely spectacular on map number 2.
Yep.
Not quite having the same, performance this time round, but they are having their moments of brilliance. Some more than others on the side of Expansion Pack, right? WILLYG being a little bit more consistent all over the place. We've got 2 ultimates online, right? We've got the Vice Steel Garden. Fantastic ultimate. Taking away those primary guns can be quite devastating, and with them being on attack, they can use that opportunity just even as a zoning tool, right?
Yeah.
Takes them away, and if Luca can get huge value out of their Steel Garden, I mean, look at the economy that Expansion Pack have got right now.
I respect the timeout because this is their pretty much only chance in this half to really, bring it back. They've got the guns, and just hope that they can, keep this economy alive.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! No! That is not the start that you want. Oh god! It's just gone to absolute poo. Expansion Pack absolutely fumbling this one. Reb started to pick up the pieces, but I don't think it's enough.
I don't think it's enough at all. Sorry, you really threw me off there. That was so funny. And I mean, we're in a 2v4 having to retake site, and it's probably not the best of situations you can be in. What can they do? Dogs throwing out the smokes.
God's not able to connect onto anything. Yeah, no, I mean, with a 4v2 and in a post-plant situation on Abyss, Expansion Pack, they're making the right call. They're just booking it, They booked their flight over to the other end of the map, and they just want to keep themselves safe. That's probably the smartest idea that they can do right now.
Yeah, it's such a shame when you had the timeout, you go, right, this is exactly what's going to happen, and WILLYG take it and throw it out the window.
Yeah, the start of the round had a really good opportunity, right? Luca got stunned on the lonesome. Soldier just dashed straight up into heaven onto stairs. And yeah, Luca just said no.
Not today.
No.
And that's so great that you can see Vice playing on by herself, right?
Yeah.
Because it works. It's like that mix I was talking about, it's not Cypher and Killjoy mix, as well as the Flash being really handy as like an initiator. And it works so well. This map is perfect for Vice.
Yeah, no, I mean, with the introduction of Vice, Vice is a very, very good agent. Now that players have had a lot more time to actually suss out the agent.
Everyone was a bit iffy on her to begin with.
Yeah.
That camera is going to get taken down as well.
No. The bullets painted quite a nice portrait around it, and then the shock bot was the finishing touch, right?
What was interesting is that we see a ping happen towards the top of mid, which shows, okay, my camera got destroyed. Clearly, there's someone top mid, and it shows that, like, okay, throwing away positions that they're not even there.
Yeah, both Aldrons are going to get used on the opposite side of the maps, and Henny is going to be losing their Vandal, as they're just having to scramble their way over to, the safety of their team as they're waiting for, the timer to run out to pick it back up. And with that, WILLYG were able to successfully get the spike planted.
Cage triggered.
Cyber Cage coming out just to try and buy Expansion Pack a little bit of time to get over onto Heaven, but Porky Chop has got their crosshair lined up quite nicely. But with that recon bolt revealing multiple members of WILLYG, Expansion Pack have an opportunity to respond back, but Luki's going to be the first to do it. Soldier just gets absolutely gunned down by the firing squad, but Henny and Reb, respond in turn, and all of a sudden, the script has been flipped, but Luca and Will get one. It's a 1 versus 1. Gog on 1 HP. It's just going to run for the hills, and Will is just not quick enough on the trigger to send them to the grave. But it doesn't even matter because WILLYG are going to start running away with this series.
I mean, that was that wasn't bad, right?
Yeah.
Considering that WILLYG completely just took B and had it locked down. Expansion Pack did really, really well to try and get that back. And unfortunately, they just end up lining up at the wrong time at the end there. But we're seeing them. We can see the spark, right? And it's slowly starting to kindle, but it's just not enough to be doing it. And we're at 2-7 right now. I mean, yeah, you can pull it back with the last 3 rounds, but you're already... WILLYG are now guaranteed to have an advantage at the second half.
Yes, that they are. Yeah, like you said, there's not enough fuel to ignite the spark on an expansion. We're starting to see semblances of WILLYG from the first map, and yes, they were a little sneaky foot revealing themselves, right? And all soldiers gonna get peppered. 19 HP. They have got their tailwind prepped and ready just in case if they need to make a swift exit, but just slowly moving away with their legs is more than enough. And Reb is gonna take their chances, gonna get damaged by that shock bolt. Are they going to go for take 2? Nearly. Nearly bit off a little bit more that they can chew, but with the dimensional drift, the barrel of Reb gets spotted. Oh my god, everything is just getting thrown towards Reb, and they're not even going to come out of this unscathed at all. Luca finding Gogs, and Stokesy is one of the foundation pillars, and they're just going to get crumbled and destroyed. An expansion pack are getting picked apart, chewed up and spat out in this first half, and it is just going nowhere for them.
Fair enough to Reb. He survived a lot longer than I thought he would, considering
Jesus Christ.
Standing strong. But we are now seeing 3 ultimates, right?
Yes.
For expansion pack, and I think this is where you're really going to have to start putting them out of the bag, because it's just not looking too great. I mean,
no.
WILLYG, they're just there. They know exactly what's happening, and they've read the map. They're ready for this match. And I think maybe the Rolling Thunder might have to come out in some sort of retaliation.
Like I was saying earlier, Stokesy hasn't had the biggest impact.
No.
And I think if there's a time to have it, it's when he's got the Rolling Thunder. Or Recon Bolt tagging Soldier. Will takes out 1. And with it, Hunter's Fury coming out from Henny, he's not going to find any value other than the initial tag. Ooh. Dookie getting overzealous with the challenge, but Porky Chop is just going to take out Reb. So a lot of utility is going to get taken out from expansion pack. Spy Cam, Trap Wires, Fault Line, Rolling Thunder also out of the equation now. So all expansion pack have on their side in terms of ultimates is that Cosmic Divide. And it's not going to be of any use because WILLYG, all 5 members are, well, say 4 members are making their way over towards A. We can see that Will is holding all the way back over in spawn, just in case anyone decides to go for the scenic route of the flank, which I think Gogs is going to do so.
No!
This could be an incredible read if the timing works out for either play. No! Oh, this is a scrappy fight. Will versus Gog. Who's going to come out on top? We can see that Henny is making a quick wraparound and Gogs comes out on top. I don't think that was part of the equation, but I think thanks to that, they're going to save. Yep.
And honestly, that whole round started from Soldier, after getting tagged, still peeking out of that smoke. Immediately getting taken out. Okay, I like the confidence, but sometimes it doesn't work out, and it didn't. And then immediately, so the defense starts getting stretched out, right? You're having to really have a thin line of where that defense is being held, and then we're seeing 1v1s. Everyone's getting.
Oh! What? No way! That was illegal.
Anyway, oh my god. Okay, we're seeing so many 1v1s and everyone getting picked off from expansion pack.
Yeah.
And it's just you're ending up in a 2v5.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't be doing that. You know, we should be seeing more pairs being played together. Yes, Gog's managing to pick one off, but it's not enough. The money, look, we're seeing 8,000 with a 4x. That's not. That shouldn't be happening. No. Luke, you should not be getting those kills.
No. I mean, with Will's positioning in that last round, doesn't matter because Soldier just absolutely decimated Luca. Now that a little bit of time has been bought, as I was saying, Will was able to buy WILLYG enough time, with that scrappy fight actually paid off, and that allowed them to get that 9-2 lead. And now the Rolling Thunder coming out, Porky Chop getting caught. Can they find the elimination? Will is going to be the first to fall on the side of WILLYG after, Luca you know, getting taken out. 3 versus 5. Expansion Pack finally finding themselves an opportunity for success, and that they do. But Dex is going to be holding out. On the other side of the map, they are now holding the defender spawn. But the spike is securely in the hands of Expansion Pack, and I do not think they've got it completely locked down. Ooh, a few shots getting fired. Dex getting revealed by that owl drone. Now the members of Expansion Pack know exactly where Dex is.
Yeah, it's going to have to be a safe round, but honestly, this is okay.
Yeah,
We've seen 9-3.
I mean, it doesn't exactly matter if Dex, you know, gets taken out. It's going to be more impactful for the side of Expansion Pack if any of their members get taken out because of how poor their economy is. So if anything, it makes just more sense for Dex to just kind of try and full send it or look for those exit frags, which I think they're going to be finding. One onto Henny, and Soldier just going to secure themselves a 3k, denying Dex any chance to get any more value.
I mean, at that point, there's no point saving. You know, we're on the second half now, so just go for some eco frags.
Yeah.
Managing to get one, but...
Tell you what, I miscounted. I thought there was an extra round in the bag. I'm not going to lie.
No, we are full speed ahead.
Ah, second half.
Yeah.
Oh, fair enough. Okay, no, right. My math was not mathing just then.
What I would like to see is mid being used a lot more.
Yeah.
I think it's such a strong way to be going on attack, and it wasn't used by WILLYG Palace all that much. We saw a few lurks from deck here and there, but it could have been used a lot more, and I'm hoping that Expansion Pack use that to their advantage. Being able to pick 1 or 2 off in mid creates such a gap in that defense, and it could really work in their favor.
Yes, that it can, yeah. And, you know, now that WILLYG Palace is on the defense, hopefully they do have an opportunity to try and secure mid a little bit more, or, you know, like you said, you know, even Expansion Pack using the opportunity to take mid, because it's so strong, but it just wasn't utilized enough in that first half.
Especially now that they have the Astra on their side as well.
Yes.
You can smoke from anywhere, right? So even if you're not in mid, you can help out.
Yeah.
And I really think they should start using it. Maybe, you know, maybe not pissed around, see how these things are going, how they're going to be played out, but they have a default.
Yeah, I mean, you were saying about how, you know, Astra could set the stars up, and look, if they set one up all the way towards the back and like by connector there, so it really does give them an opportunity. Oh, but Lukey just gets just lines that crosshair up nice and just so perfectly. Didn't even have to move anything. They just had it right there, head level, ready and waiting, and Reb just got taken out. Just like that. And Luca is going to make first contact of Expansion Pack's aggression. It's going to get stunned, but nothing else is going to come out of it. Soldier is going to be jumping peak. Yep. Trying to just bait out that shear, and that they do, and Luca is going to use an opportunity to push up as well, but that shear is going to be coming down, and out come the members of Expansion, but Luca is going to find one through the flash, finds 2, and Will picks up a second for themselves, and I have no idea how they came out on top of that one. That should not have happened.
Was fully blinded, and then the whole of Expansion Pack's just staring him down without shooting. I was just kind of looking at him a bit weirdly. Luca immediately getting one whilst he's flash, coming out of the flash, getting another, then Will coming in with the frenzy and cleaning it up.
I mean, I'm sure Luca has dazzling eyes, right? But I didn't realize there was that much so to throw Expansion Pack off. And so WILLYG have now got themselves 3 rounds away from winning the series. And, you know, can Dex find... No, they can't.
Bit of damage.
A little bit of damage, you know. Not quite enough to, you know, take out Soldier, you know, living on a hair's breadth of life, but Soldier just dry swigs that. Lukey gets taken out, Porky finds Gogs, Will takes out Soldier, Soaksy comes in for the trade, bish bash bosh. Expansion Pack have the advantage. Oh, and it's just gone. Luca positioning themselves really, really well. Stokesy's forehead might not be quite that lucky, but can Reb spot Luca? That they do. Throws a few shots out, and down the members of Expansion Pack fall, and WILLYG are just cleaning up house.
I mean, Luca's having, you know, sit back, like you mentioned, a really good position because Porky Shop is so weak, right? He's on 15 HP. If you're at that point, Luca is the one there who should be taking the fights, and if you're peeking, like, he doesn't have the advantage there at all. So you don't want to be wasting it. You want to make sure maybe, possibly not bait PorkyChop, but let him peek first, see if he can do anything, and then from there, see what's happening. And he manages to get the kill through the wall with the Outlaw, and then from there, Luca's like, yeah, sure, swing.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing else to lose now. So, 11-3. Going into the conversion round. Expansion pack have an opportunity now to, you know, try and get something, but if WILLYG take this round, they're gonna just take the game.
The buy's looking so good. Look, Luca's got a Vandal. Why have you got a Vandal?
You shouldn't. Like,
what's
you
going
shouldn't
on?
be allowed.
We've got 2 Outlaws. We've got no shields, barely, on the side of expansion pack. I mean, look, what's the point?
Yeah.
Like, it's the buy round. You haven't got shields. You know they've got Outlaws.
Oh no, it's not looking good, and now the expansion pack's attack is not going to be that graceful. And PorkyChop managed to get 3 with the Outlaw, 3 shots, 3 kills, making their tally looking quite nice right there. Their stats are going to be quite nice after this game. PorkyChop not going to get the ace, but they are going to get themselves a 4K. And they put themselves on series points.
Yep.
And this was quite not the way we were expecting.
I would like to say, okay, game's not over.
Game's not over.
However, I would like to say it's 3rd map curse. It always happens. You get the first map, and the second one you come back a little bit after the stomp, and then you're relieved, right? You're like, okay, thank God we're in 3rd map. That stress, you know, dies down a little bit. Whereas WILLYG Palace, they're
back to it.
Yeah.
They're scared, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, right, let's come back with full force, and that they have.
Yeah. I don't know what WILLYG Palace had for like to eat or drink during that 5-minute break, but my goodness, is it paying off for them? And hey, look, expansion pack trying again for a mid push, and it is more successful this time round. They've started things off very, very nicely. PorkyChop getting baited in for the 2 shots, and now that they're having to reload, look at expansion pack. They are completely wrapping around. They are boxing PorkyChop like a little pork sandwich, and they are feasting off of that quite nicely. And now the advantage goes over to expansion pack. They're going to get that spike planted. They're going to give themselves the advantage. And now as the time is ticking, the pressure is going to start to mount. But WILLYG have got themselves in a very comfortable place that they can kind of play around with a few rounds on their end. They're not really going to be losing out on too much. But I have no idea what just happened.
Something's going on behind us.
Yeah, something's going on with the main stage, and Lukey is going to be finding it out as they got a bit of time to chill, and so does Decker. Soldier picks themselves up at 3K, and it's all up to Luca. They've been in clutch situations before. They find 2 headshots, but they don't know that Henny is underneath their feet, and Henny from the depths below send them to the grave 6 feet down.
It was close.
That was close.
It was doable. When you see one underneath the box, you don't assume there's going to be more than one there. So it's unfortunate, but Lukey now has that operator. Is going to be holding towards A main. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
And we are seeing full buy from the side of expansion pack. The economy is looking good for now, but both teams have got some ultimates on the way. Luca, especially, might be able to take away those guns.
Ooh, oh no. Point
right
of indecision. 2 members on the side of expansion appeared, and Lukey didn't know which one to go for. And got none and died.
Yeah.
Probably the worst outcome you could have.
Definitely, but we're seeing a little bit of mid control trying to be taken.
A little bit. The Aldrone wasn't spotting Gogs at the top over there. But now that Reb is given a little bit of an all clear, now expansion pack are kind of just racing for the hills right now, making their way over to B, and with that call you can see that Omen
Take flight.
let them know, Dex letting the members of WILLYG know that they're booking it. That Cosmic Divide coming out, slicing up the site. Dex getting caught by the fault line, gonna get taken out of the smoke. Luca using that Steel Guardian to deny primaries, but it doesn't even matter because everyone is just dropping like flies, and Luca finds themselves once again in a clutch situation. Is it going to be a little bit more favored for them?
30 seconds left.
They're going to have to... they have got an Arc Rose as well as a Razor Wire, but I think they're going to be dry peeking this smoke. And unfortunately, it costs them their life. and Expansion Pack are slowly inching their way, you know, closer towards WILLYG's scoreline, but that gap is still massive.
Closer to my prediction, that's for
yes,
sure.
that is very close to your prediction. I mean, I'm an OT believer, but I think your prediction is looking like it's going to be manifesting itself more so than mine.
But you're not wrong, though. Expansion Pack really are starting to show up a little bit more. I mean, using some of those ultimates already, we do still have the Rolling Thunder out for play. Henny also very, very close to that ultimate.
Storm getting popped by Porky. Dex is prepping that paranoia. They are ready to just sprint in. Down goes a spy cam, and oh my goodness, goodbye Gogs. Getting caught in your astral form, and bye-bye Henny. It's all up to Rev. Gets one. Can they find a second? No, they can't, no. Fault line coming out too little, too late. Stokesy in a 1 versus 2, and they just get absolutely chewed up and spat out, and it's all up to the shoulders of Soldier. They dash through. Can they find one? Oh my goodness, trying to dance.
What is going on?
Dancing for Porky, and Soldier finds 3, and all of a sudden it's a 1 versus 1. WILLYG toying with their food, and they are paying the price, but it doesn't matter because Porky was able to successfully save their team, and they are keeping themselves in the upper bracket. And Expansion Pack gets knocked down into the lowest.
I don't know what happened.
I don't know what happened. Oh my god, that was almost disastrous.
Hey,
wow.
I mean, Expansion Pack put up a fight. You know, they were the underdogs for this series, so it makes sense that this is a scoreline.
Yeah.
But they've done a very, very good job. They deserve to get into that final map, and they clearly showed it.
Yeah, they put on a stellar performance on Bind. Unfortunately, it just wasn't showing up in Abyss, but they had their moments of brilliance. Doesn't mean they're out of the tournament yet, because they have just been knocked down to the lowest, so they've still got that second chance. The final lifeline, if you will, to stay in this tournament. But WILLYG are going to keep themselves, you know, comfortable in that top spot right now as they progress on into the upper semis. So I think that is going to be enough from us for a little bit, isn't it?
Yeah.
So thank you all for watching WILLYG versus Expansion Pack. Nearly forgot the name there for a second. The name escaped me. Can you tell it's been a long morning?
Yeah, we're only one series in. We've got quite a way to go, but
yeah, we've got a lot of Valorant coming your way, so do not miss out. But we are going to go for a bit of a break right now, right? We're going to go grab some lunch. We'll be back in about, I'd say, roughly maybe an hour and a bit. Yeah. So don't go anywhere. Unless you want to go get some food and some drink. But this Valorant tournament has been brought to you and sponsored by Asus Republic of Gamers. Thank you very much. We'll see you very, very shortly after the break.